What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
Woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host, once again, Dan Thornton. Hey, want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live, and yes, the final game of the 2025 season is roughly 24 minutes away from kicking off. You guys probably all know the situations by now, but if you don't, let me bring you up to speed. Detroit Lions are not going to the playoffs. Detroit Lions are playing for pride. They're playing for self-respect. They're playing for the ability not to go into the postseason on a multiple game losing streak. They're also playing for draft status. Where are you going to go with this? I don't know. If you would, though, before we get really into the show, into the live cast, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. You guys are probably going to notice across all streaming platforms, numbers for viewership is going to be down. In fact, the planned once upon a time meeting at Ford Field to cheer on the Lions, I think this was kind of loosely scheduled about 6 weeks ago with the idea that this could be for the right to win the NFC North and get to the playoffs. That has been canceled by Ford Field. So what do you do if you're Dan Campbell? I can't speak for Dan Campbell, but it's me. You got to do what you can to fire up the team. While, yes, they're not going to the postseason, you do have 30-some individuals on this team who are playing for contracts. If you've been watching some of the earlier games, 32-year-old Javanian Clowney, he's been playing his butt off. 3 sacks, batted pass, this, that, and the other thing, fumbled recovery. He's been playing for a reason for them to re-sign him next year. As far as who to blame, we can probably leave that for another show. Maybe we'll get into that in the pregame show here. But what I will say is this is an excellent opportunity, not just to see the pending free agents want to put something on film for their agency, for their representation to use to market them for a new contract. Whether that's with the Detroit Lions or not, we'll wait and see in the foreseeable future. What we can also say is you want to see further growth and development from some of the Lions rookies, or at least younger players. This is an excellent opportunity to get some players out there who haven't seen much. In regards to actives, inactives today, you guys know that this is Taylor Decker. He's going to be out there from all reports. This may be his final game. The same is also going to be true for Graham Glasgow. So I do think while Penei Sewell's not out there, we get it. They're putting those guys out there because it more than likely is the swan song for both gentlemen. They've been through a whole lot as Detroit Lions. They've seen a whole lot of change. They've been part of the renaissance of this organization. While it's not a great end to their career, let's also be fair. They've seen far worse than this. A win here, 4 straight years winning records. The full list of inactives today, Alex Anzalone. Reports are he's inactive for one simple reason. He's a father. Once again, the family gave birth to the 3rd child of theirs, so understandable why he's not there today. Thomas Harper, safety. I don't mind him. I don't know if he'll be resigned, but we'll have to wait and see what else. Yodi, offensive lineman. You've heard me talk about it before. I don't think he's going to be resigned by the Detroit Lions. He's maybe not the most terrible backup guard in the NFL. I don't know if he really did himself any favors this year. This one I was a little surprised by. Dominic Lovett. You want to see something on this kid. He is a rookie. He's got some wheels. He's got some size. Be a great time to get him out there and get him some further growth, development, etc. Not going to see that today. Penei Sewell already mentioned this one. He's not going to go. Why that is, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I get it with the Penei, the ankle. There's no real reason to play him. So why have him out there? Why have him further exacerbate that ankle? Let him rest. Ali McNeil, I was also a little surprised by this one just because He's trying to get back on track, trying to get back to his form from last year. Same time, the Lions have put a big investment in him. Maybe they bring wise here and just saying, hey, we're going to let you sit out. Try to get yourself right in the offseason. See you next year. Bears inactives, Case Keenum, a little bit of surprise. Rome Oduzier, not a huge surprise given some of his injuries, but I get it. Let's see, Nick McLeod, Izzy Trapaloid, and Joe Tyron. Boy, I'm not even going to try that last one, but hey, they're all going to be out too. Bears, if you didn't know, they're more than likely, unless there's something I'm missing here, they're going to face the Green Bay Packers. The Packers lost earlier today. That's going to be our big matchup next week. How much will Ben Johnson go today? My thought is he wants his team to feel pretty good. I think they're going to try to rub it in on the Detroit Lions any chance they get today. If it's 4th and 4 and they're up 40, I do expect the Chicago Bears to go for it. I expect anytime they have an opportunity for a trick play, they're going to do it. I think it's all hands on deck for the Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson probably wants to prove a point. That also being said, Dan Campbell wants to go into the postseason feeling pretty good about things, getting some of these players, maybe some bonuses, whatever it may be. They're going to find a way to try to motivate the team. The team also knows less than 24 hours from now, they're going to be back in Detroit, cleaning out their lockers, getting up ready to set up positional exit interviews with their respective coaches and coordinators before they take off for about 4 months before they come back in. Maybe it's 3 months, but you get it. They're going to go off for a little time before they come on back. All right, Riley O'Brien, I believe, is going to join us this afternoon. We'll see if that holds water or not. Let's get over to the comment section and see what you guys have to say about this game. If some of you guys have never been through a game like this before, I know a lot of you have, but if you've really only been a fan of the Lions the last 5 years, you may not have experienced a game like this. Some of you also know I've been a reporter for a real long time, since the late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in that range. I've had to cover a whole lot of games like this. It is a difficult game for certain teams to get into. If you're someone like the New York Giants, I think they've got a lot of momentum going their way. Same with the Saints. They're playing for a reason, even though they're not going to play in the playoffs. Detroit Lions, that reason's got to be just self-pride, finish with a winning record. It'll be interesting to see what MCDC can do to motivate the team. Trey, ready for this one? Hoping we come out strong. I like the way you're thinking. Susan, so does Brad call down to the field and tell Dan to hold players out? We did report earlier in the week, I want to say Monday, that from people I chat with, they were firmly convinced Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes were not seeing eye to eye on how to address this game. A coach, a player wants to win. They want to go out and do that. The front offices of any organization, they're going to want to play for draft status, maybe try to hold back some things to not pay out bonuses, although I don't get the sense that the Detroit Lions try to avoid paying out bonuses, but they also don't want to risk anybody getting hurt that maybe they're going to move on from, and now you're locked into some of that money. Just, I'm sitting here watching the Cowboys and rooting for them. They win, and if we drop, that pushes up a few spots. I am aware of that, but I do believe that the Cowboys lost, although I don't have it up on the screen right now. All right, K-Heat, come on, Dallas. So we are wanting to win or lose ourselves today? Question mark. I've heard both angles. It's going to come down to who you ask. You'll be able to tell probably by halftime if this team is fired up to play to try to right the ship, or if they're already, on vacation somewhere else. Clark Griswold, not a least anticipated game of the year for any non-playoff team. Yeah, nobody's really, across the NFL. You have a couple of teams that have got some momentum going on late in the year. Those fan bases are feeling a certain way. I guess I would compare it sort of like when we went into Green Bay, whatever it was, 4 years ago, beat Aaron Rodgers, his final game there. We were fired up no matter what. We were going to play to the best of our abilities. Packers, conversely, were going into that game, a win, put them into the playoffs. That didn't happen. Hey, so we got to play spoiler. Scott, what's up, Coach, today? And let's go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Conan Dart looks looking good. Green Bay is done. Green Bay, just not a worse way to go into the playoffs. They've lost whatever it is in a row. They haven't looked good. They've got injuries galore. You know what? Hey, they're getting ready for next week at this point. Dean Jackson, I've seen more OPIs in the past 2 months than I've seen in 3 to 5 years. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's noticed that. Yes, in the last month or so of the NFL season, just feels like all of a sudden referees that once upon a time never called offensive pass interference now almost call it religiously. If you didn't watch last night's game, Panthers, Bucks, man, that last minute or so really is raised nationally. If you thought people had tinfoil hats when talking about games being rigged, Vegas being in bed with the NFL is going to have to sit down and address this nationally to try to get fans back on board with them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Panthers got called for 3 very questionable calls in the last Minnesota game, more or less giving the Bucks the win. I would compare it as a Lions fan. Think back to the Pittsburgh Steelers game. The Tesla gets pushed into the defensive back, called for an OPI. Have your own thoughts on it, but NFL refs aren't doing themselves any favors, I think, in the view of the public. Thaddeus Spartacle, McNeil's out today. He is. And the reasons why I do not know, but my guess is, they just figure they're not getting the postseason. Maybe he's banged up. Maybe just let him rest and not risk any setbacks with him. Garland, man up and win this. Don't go into the offseason on a losing streak. That is what I would say, 100%. You want to finish strong and feel a little bit better going into the offseason. Gary Olowski isn't a quarterback. Could be accurate. Very accurate indeed. 5 fingers. Dallas looks like they have flights tonight to a beach and vacation. Yeah, they may already. I get Clowney. Anybody watching that game could probably say, hey, Jadeveon Clowney is playing his butt off. He's doing what he can to remain a Dallas Cowboy. I know the announcers kind of mentioned it that, hey, they want him to stay there. He wants to stay there. He likes the situation. I think he's playing for that contract. Kerry, anything Detroit needs a quarterback? Look at Dallas. Could be accurate there. And yes, they're showing that, Cowboys lost and Cleveland Browns won against the Bengals. I don't really think either one of those help us in regards to draft status. So Atlanta Falcons also won as well, I believe, if I'm reading it right. Okay, Conan, yes, Goff is not the issue. Both lines are, Kerry. I would agree with that. Kerry, saw Houston got a sack late. I like James Houston. Anybody who's watched this show for any length of time understands I never wanted to see him leave. He might not have been great against the run. He may not have been the big edge that they wanted, but still at the same time, the guy's got a ton of upside when it comes to rushing the quarterback. Rotational piece, right? Pat Rock Milton might be on his last NFL team, straight trash. I think he'd be somebody, I think we all agree if you watch him, his reads sometimes aren't great. He doesn't identify the coverages he's facing, but he's got arm strength. He's got some size. He's got a cannon for an arm, and he's got some athleticism. Maybe going to the UFL for a year or two, kind of developing a better understanding of what he's seeing out there would help him out quite a bit. Tori, please, no injuries today. That's all I ask. I think you are probably the vast majority of Lions fans at this point. John, I don't hear no bell. 1 game to go. Exclamation point. Yes, well said. Well said indeed. Henry Moore, good afternoon. Coach Dan and the Duke crew. And back at you, Henry Moore, senior. Kerry, first pick, edge or center? Second pick, edge or center? Third pick, left tackle. For me, Kerry, for whatever it's worth, if the Lions, one of the biggest interesting topics I think we'll be talking about all offseason, leading into free agency, if the Lions really do kind of marry themselves to Penei Sewell, St. Brown, Goff, whoever else they're going to restructure, if they really do free up 80, 90, 130 million, and they use it on the offensive line or whatever else they're going to use it on, maybe defensive backs, edge, or whatever, it would be my hope they target all the free agents on the one side of the ball. Like I've gone on record and saying I would go after a center and a right or left tackle, save the money for other things from there for re-signing your own guys. With that now being said, if I secure the offensive line in this example, I'm now spending virtually every draft pick on defense to really have them rise on up. Maybe you want to do every draft pick, but you get the vast majority of my meaning. I'm going to spend a whole lot on that defense. All right, so small. Good day for a win over the Bears. Come on, Detroit! Exclamation point. There'll be a lot of fans wanting that exact same outcome. Let's see if we can make it happen. Kerry, 4th pick, DB. Okay, there you go. I know in my one mock draft so far, I've tried to get us bigger, both in the safety, height-wise, and the cornerback spot. I just think we match up not very well for a man-to-man team when we're giving up 5-6 inches of height on average more often than not. Bo, woo, Duke crew, and woo to you, Bo. Captain America, Steve Rogers. Not much help in the draft so far from other teams. No, I don't think I've seen any. Maybe I've missed it, but I don't think I've seen any. Last night, though, the Bucks winning kind of helped us to a certain degree. Trey, but no, do the Packers have lost something like 3 to 5 in a row? If they drop week 1 of the playoffs, dang, no first rounders either. Yeah, I know we talked for years now. Brad Holmes needs to be more aggressive. Skip them picks, whatever you want to say. Get out there and get after it. But the other side of it is, if things don't work out, you've really set yourself back, because now in the Packers case, financially to Micah Parsons, who I think we all agree is a phenomenal player, they've got a big contract on a guy with a torn ACL that's probably going to need a year to get back on the field. And will he be like Lee McNeil, that he'll be on the field but not quite himself? Plus, no first-round picks for 2 straight years. Not that you can't overcome any of those things, but it does put a little bit more stress on your organization. Go ahead, hey, Bo, Trey, Carrie, and the whole crew, and hey ho to you too. Let's see, Bo, so far I don't have any idea how the next draft lines up. What I can say to you is, here, let me see if I can pull it up. Tankathon. All right, let's see if I can pull it up for you, Bo. I guess we might as well start talking about it, right? Let's go to the NFL draft order, and this is going to change a little bit in the next day or so. Probably by Tuesday, I'd say it'd be finalized, or maybe even tomorrow night, but you get the gist. As of right now, we are 16th place because the Indianapolis Colts lost. Tampa Bay, they won, so we'll see what shakes out. So we've moved back 1 slot so far. Is it possible we could still slide up a bit? I don't really think so. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but I don't really think there's anything. So we're probably locked into about the 16th spot. Tampa Bay hasn't superseded us. Atlanta's 1, 2. So, Atlanta won. So I thought that would actually move us up. Dallas, if they would have won, I think that would have helped us out. But, obviously that didn't happen. So, all right, enough of the jibber jabber about that. All right, just pray Goff doesn't get rolled up and smoked today. Same with anyone meaning for us. Yeah, I think that's basically what we're all hoping for. Bo, how early can we see Kyle Allen today? Could be early. Now, Goff has gone on record and said he wants to play. He wants to finish the entire game. I think a lot of today just really does come down to, can they stay even with the Bears? The longer the Lions stay even with the Bears or within striking distance, then you probably are playing for the win. Detroit loses this game. I know I just had Tankathon up there, but they're probably moving up to about number 13 or 12 in the draft. So, I mean, how much is that really going to impact things? Some, not a ton, but you get it. The team on the field, if they have an opportunity to win, I think they're going to try to win the game. Miller Ward, Bo Booth, first snap. Ooh, maybe. Bo, I wouldn't bet any other way, Ward. Okay. Garland, looking like we are pick 14 to 17 in the draft. Yeah, that's probably where we're going to end up, give or take. Michigan Sports Huddle or Lauren Vander Esch. Let's see, what's up, Duke Crew? Not too much, my friend. How about you? Xavier, good afternoon, Coach Dan. Back at you. Day, what do you got? I'm here for the game, though I'm not quite sure why. Hey, you're a good Lions fan. You want to cheer the team on. Hey, that's basically what we're all doing today. Michigan Sports Huddle, Dayton, because you love our Lions. Hey, couldn't have said it better myself. Gary, I see us 14 to 16 picking. Yeah, be somewhere there. Some chance, I want to say some chance that we could get up to number 13. Yeah, 12 isn't possible, but yeah, 13 might be the highest we can go. So not a whole lot of movement. Miles Meyer, howdy all. Having neighbors over for last game. Let's go Lions. Hey, enjoy the game and good time with friends and neighbors. Xavier and Duke Crew, hope you have a blessed day. Exclamation point, go Lions. Hope you do too, Xavier. Michigan Sports Huddle, remember to smash that like and subscribe button. Well said. Phil, howdy, and howdy, Phil. Detroit, Packers lost. Man, they've lost quite a few in a row. I might do a live cast of that game almost to root against them. See, 6 string, go line. Let's go. Woo! With some exclamation points. Back at you. Phil, hit all the buttons. Thank you for that. There's, we made it to the basement. We did. So even if we win today, for those who don't know, we will finish in the NFC North 4th place schedule. I know that's what a lot of you wanted. I get Lions win today. Think about this. Every team in the North has a winning record. It's insane. But that also speaks to what you're going to face for the foreseeable future in the NFC North. Every game is going to be a dogfight. Dave, what do you got? It's been a while since I've been in, quote, I hope the Lions play well and lose a close one. Note, although I've had a ton of experience with that mindset over the years. I think, unfortunately, many of us Lions fans who've been around for a while are in the same boat. All right, Phil, Coach, in your opinion, what truly happened this year? Coaching? Oh, boy. Let's see, we got 10 minutes of game time. All right, here's what I'll say. In my opinion, for what it's worth, I think it all started with Frank Ragnow. Frank's a great guy, phenomenal center. That also being said, he waited until after free agency in the draft to retire. You are incredibly limited how to address that center position at that point. You already knew you were moving on, at right guard with Zettler taking off to Tennessee. Ratledge on his own, I don't think would have been a big problem. But now that you have both of them in there and flexing, I think that's a problem. The next aspect, and again, just my opinion, Phil, is when you bring in inexperienced coaches that have to learn on the job, you have to be willing to go through that learning curve. I have said since last year when Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson moved on, I wouldn't do that. You're built to win now. You need people that already have the answers. Where I think Kelvin Shepard's going to be a very good defense coordinator in time once he's gone through some of those learning curves. Somebody throws, the biggest thing in coaching I can tell you guys in 30 plus years of coaching is somebody throws a problem out on the court, the field, whatever it may be that you're facing, and you don't know the answer, lickety split. Does it take 1 drive, 2 drives, a half for you to figure out how to beat it? And if it takes that long, chances are it's impacted the game greatly. Watching John Morton, it's hard to really ascertain because you know what? He was only here for a limited time this year. And while I thought there were some changes with MCDC, I didn't think they were egregious, mostly just personnel packages. I don't think schematically they changed a lot. But Shep, I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a very good coach. But the biggest thing hurting him is he doesn't yet know quickly how to beat what he sees out there. That takes experience. Then obviously, Phil, the injuries, that's hurt us exponentially. Phil, what's your opinion? What was wrong with the scheme? There you go. Yeah, I kind of adjust that. Phil, was Morton a huge mistake? I guess the simple way to answer it is yes. They should have really been on the same page during the interview process. MCDC's expectations for what he wants out of his OC and what you got. Clearly, MCDC did not enjoy John Morton's play calling, personnel group packages, whatever it may be. He obviously did not agree with it and moved on from him. We've also talked about, and I know some of you guys that go to the game said you've seen Goff and MCDC or Morton get in arguments coming out of the tunnel or going into the tunnel. So now your quarterback is also having issues with something that you're doing from a schematic standpoint. The fact that it got into the interview process, then got hired, and then onto the field, somebody missed something, and somebody needs to probably just admit it. They're going to move on from John Morton. John Morton's come out this week and said he hopes he remains with the team. I'm sure he does. He's probably got a pretty good contract. I don't know his details of his contract, but if he's here, it's probably on a reduced role, new position. It won't be as the OC. That ship has burnt. Phil, the end of the Matt Patricia era, all the players are gone. Yes, but that's going to happen over time. Pierce, hopefully it's the last week of DDI. I can't imagine, even though Pierce, I don't remember if you were on the morning show, there were some reporters saying that perhaps Davenport would be re-signed next year. I just don't see it unless he's working for free. Even then, he's got to occupy a roster spot. I think if you're keeping him, it's almost a big finger to the fans because while if he finishes the game healthy and plays, good for him, man. He's gone through 5 or 6 games without an injury. Longest stretch in like 5 years or something like that. But he's also not being highly productive out there either. Pierce, bye-bye, Mr. DDI. From the injuries to the headaches and the patience is dry. I wanted the starters to play this game. I can't stand Benedict the Snake Johnson. A lot of fans feel that way, 100%. Let's see. EH, what do you got? Shani, what do you got? I hope they win today. You play to win. Go Lions. Exclamation point. 100%. You play to win the game. Falcons won. I guess they did, Gary. King SJ, hey, coach and crew. How you doing today? Hopefully a phenomenal day for you. Pierce, Kerry, a reckoning is coming this offseason. Yeah, it's we talked about it a little bit, all of us on the show. I just think, man, we've got to make this the biggest offseason in Lions history. So if you're really going to be in it to win it, you've got to address some stuff with that. You've got to go after it. You've got to free up some money, invest in the team, go from there. All right, Riley. Hey, coach. Okay, yep. I'm going good there. Carolina in. Hey, there you go. All right, let's bring over. We got just a couple minutes till kickoff here, but Riley, you're Dan Campbell. You're the Detroit Lions. What are you playing for today?
Let me make sure my audio's up and running. Are we good? You can hear me. Awesome. Yeah, great. Man, yeah, I think it's, I've heard a lot of the comparisons to what we saw when they went into Green Bay a few years ago. The difference then is that you're building momentum. The team found out 30 minutes before the game they weren't making the playoffs. Obviously, it's a different vibe right now, but I think Coach Campbell put it out there pretty, clear. He's looking to see the.
All right, Riley, we got to interrupt you here. We got the opening kickoff coming. So.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, here we go. And then it's received. The Lions are the 15, the 20, 25. Going to be brought down. We'll say, interestingly, around the 28-yard line. All right, so here we go. Are they going to play to win it, Riley? Best guess right now. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yes, they're going to do everything they can to win.
All right, I'll hold you to it. Coming in 71.3 completion pack, 10 touchdowns in the last 3 games versus the Bears. No picks. All right, Goff's going to come out. Mahogany Decker is in, for those wondering. Could be his final game wearing the jerseys. See Tesla out there, Williams and St. Brown. Can't identify the tight end yet. Goff's going to take it. He's going to hand it off to Gibbs. Gibbs got it. He's going to get about 3, maybe stumble forward for 3.5 yards.
One small thing, Coach Dan, I don't know if you got to it in kind of pregame talk, but 6 times this year, the Bears have trailed with under 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter and gone on to win the game. That's the most since 1970. So they've had some close wins this year. So Lions just keep it close, might be able to pull ahead late.
Yeah, sort of like the Lions won a bunch of games last year, close ones, late games. The Bears have kind of done that this year, and that's why records can switch so much. It's not like the Bears are dominating. They just happen to be getting, the right side of things. All right, 2nd and 6. Gibbs got it. He's going to go for about 3 yards. Going to set up about a 3rd and 8. Frisker is in there, as long as Zane Zylstra at tight end.
Be interesting to see throughout this game, too. I know John Morton had said, too, he felt confident the Lions would be able to have a good rushing attack today. Bears are giving up about 5 carries or 5 yards per carry. We'll see if that holds true. Been a while since the Lions have had a good ground day.
All right, I know most Lions fans want to see some of the star players get out of there. No risk from injuries that set anything back next year, but looks like Lions have different plans as Goff is in a shotgun. He's got trips high, 1 low, running back to his low side. Bears showing man across the board and blitz. They bring 4. Goff's got time. He throws it out and completed it. Amon-Ra St. Brown for Detroit Lions. First down. At least that would be my initial thing, but though the referee might have him just behind the line. We'll see where they mark it. He catches it, though, no doubt about it. 13 minutes ago in the opening stanza, St. Brown, 107 catches this year. Incredible season.
Yeah, one of the weird things this year is Goff's had the stats, St. Brown's got the stats, J-Mo has the stats. Just hasn't translated to the winning season we'd hoped.
Out of the shotgun, Goff takes the snap. He looks deep over the middle of the field. He's got Tesla on the deep post in route for about a 22-yard gain. Tesla smells the grass and then gets on up. First down, Detroit. All right, so talking about the rookies, while we got a quick second, Riley, what do you think of the big 3 rookies? Although I guess you could throw Frazier in there, the big 4, the core 4.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because it's, now the talk is, hey, Holmes has botched these last 2 drafts. I think you got a handful of good players from this last draft. It's just relative to what your expectation is out of these guys. But I think Tesla is solidifying himself as a wide receiver 3 for this team for sure.
Not good news. It looks like Christian Mahogany coming off the field. He's holding in that left hand and wrist area. He's obviously, most Lions fans will be aware he broke his fibula earlier in the year, came back, and hasn't been quite the same player, but you break a leg, man. It's going to have an impact in. All right, Tesla in motion. Goff under center, play action pass. He's facing a blitz. He's going to get rid of it, and it's going to be caught by Jay Wow for a first down. What do you think about Jay Mo's development this year?
It's been awesome, man. I mean, I was looking at his stats a week ago, and it's like, man, they are almost to a T what they were last year. And last year, I was incredibly happy with Jamison Williams, and I think he's a sure fit wide receiver number 2 on this team. Could be a wide receiver 1 on some teams, but not over a St. Brown.
All right, another first down for Detroit at the 31-yard line. Detroit in a Wildcat situation. Goff at the bottom of the screen. Dave Montgomery is going to get the hand off to Gibbs. Gibbs is going to take it up the field for about a 9-yard gain. Dave Montgomery going to try to extend his playing career in Detroit by becoming the quarterback, the backup quarterback.
Hey, whatever it takes to get on the field, man.
Baby.
That's going to be one of the interesting things for me this offseason is what they do with Montgomery. You bring him back, or is he wanting to play elsewhere? Hopefully, want to see him continue in Detroit.
Silver Surfer, yes, he did something to his wrist and left hand, from what I could tell. All right, getting back to it, tight formation, deuces low. One of them is Gibbs in motion. They're going to hand it off David Montgomery, who's going to maybe get just shy of the first down. About not quite a full yard, but maybe depending on where they mark him, he may have got the first down. So not quite the shotgun two-back formation we've talked about. Gibbs lined up at receiver with a tight end in the backfield as your fullback, and David Montgomery is the halfback. It is a Detroit Lions first down. Goff 3 out of 3 for 33 yards.
Bunch of threes there. We'll take it. Hopefully the drive doesn't end in 3. Hopefully it ends in a touchdown here.
All right, we got trips high, single low. It looks like Gibbs is part of the trips high. Goff takes the snap. He's got some time. He's going to unleash it underneath to Jameson Williams, who makes one guy miss, stumbles forward, and maybe gets a first down depending on where they mark him.
Nice methodical drive here for Detroit, chewing up some time here. And I expect the Bears to come out. I think Ben Johnson's downplayed what they're trying to get for Caleb. I expect them to go for it. They're this close. I think they're just going to try to get it this game.
Goff takes a bit of a shot there. He did take a shot on that throw. I came into this game saying, man, Dan Campbell wants to go for it on fourth down. Naturally, this is a game built for that because really, you don't win. Who cares?
Who cares? Exactly. Yep.
Goff 4 out of 4 for 43. They broke the string.
Another yard for JMO would have kept it going.
Dang it, JMO. Could have had it there.
But this
Either way, it's 2nd and 1. This may be the most laid-back telecast, by the way, you've ever had. Manu out, I believe. Could be. I see Goff. I see Mahogany's back in. So whatever it was very brief that he was out, maybe 2-3 snaps.
Yeah, I think you're a full play ahead of me. Okay, so I just saw the JMO catch here. So we're 2nd and 1. Is that right?
Yes, 2nd and 1 with 22 seconds on the play clock. Gonna have to get you some rabbit ears, man. Although where you live, that probably won't help. All right, we got currently shotgun. Goff going up to the line, talking gingerly. It's going to remain shotgun. Whatever the situation was, we're still waiting for the officials to figure this out because, man, nobody's called a timeout. There was no injury on the field. So we're over a full minute on whatever this delay is. It doesn't look like either team has a clue what's going on.
Yeah, you're right. It laid back kind of telecast here that we got going, especially relative to shootout. Most stressful game for me this year was that Giants game that we did. But we'll take it. Hopefully, we'll get right back to the stress that we crave with wanting this team to win and do well here coming up on the next season.
All right, here we go. Goff in the shotgun. It's Tesla high with the tight end along with Gibbs. He's got deuces low with Jameson Williams and St. Brown. Empty backfield now. We're going to swing it on a screen. That's going to lose about 5 yards.
Not the direction you want to go. And I know, Coach, that is not one of your favorite play calls.
No, I do not like any kind of play behind the line of scrimmage, a pass play. I just
see. Yeah,
there's a whole lot that can go wrong. And
they're marching,
dedicated to it.
Marching down the field, getting some yardage, and then they stall out here when the field gets short. And
all right, 3rd and 6, 16 on the play clock. The Lions have exhausted 6 minutes of the game already. So those who want this game over before anybody can get hurt, you're getting it. All right, 3rd and 7. They've adjusted, or now they put it back to 3rd and 6. Goff in a shotgun. Deuces high, deuces low, running back low side, and there's a timeout, Detroit. All right, well, is what it is. I've got the rabbit ears going, so I would assume, but I don't know, that I'm as up to speed as I can be with anybody out there. Sun God, no. Okay, officials are trying to figure out how to mess with the Lions. That might be accurate. I said laid back. Yes, we will be laid back here indeed. Bo Booth, says Riley O'Brien. All right, Manu out, I believe. The Vanillatron name is funny. It is indeed. Let's see, Manu out, I believe. Demo handing off to Gibbs is one way to use them both. It is. It is indeed. All right, I'll keep the comments section up. Moonscar, hey, good afternoon, Duke Crew, and back at you. Right on with me. Hey, I do what I can. All right, still a shotgun. Trips low, single high. Goff in the shotgun. Running back high. St. Brown moving in as well. Bears showing blitz. They drop out. They're rushing 4. And unfortunately, the pass is dropped by St. Brown. That would have been a first down. St. Brown this year seems to be drop happy.
That's one of the anomalies, which, the handful that there are this year. I mean, I feel like St. Brown has dropped more passes this year than I would have thought he would have over the course of like 3 or 4 years going into this season. Hopefully next year that is not a continuing occurrence.
Lions going to go for the field goal. 4th and 6. Jake the Hitman Bates, will he get a new contract after this year? We'll see. The kick is up. It's right down the middle, and it's good. Lions draw first blood.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just saw the play there. Yeah, I mean, it was good. Wasn't like he was completely wide open and dropped it, but you still expect St. Brown to reel that catch in. So 3-0, I guess not a bad start, all things considered. And like you said, hey, it burned up some time there, so took about a half the quarter there just on that opening drive.
So I know Phil asked in the pregame show, what did I see? Some things the Lions could adjust, or I don't remember exactly what Phil said, but getting back to the point about younger coordinators or less experienced coordinators, I guess age doesn't matter. So here's something else for you guys to consider. Was it the Christmas Day game when we were playing the Minnesota Vikings? Remember when the Lions had them? Basically the Lions were down, I want to say 3 points. Minnesota had the ball. It was 3rd and 7 or 8 or whatever it was. The Vikings call a timeout. They have seen what Kelvin Shepard was going to run on defense. When they come out of it, Kevin O'Connell's looking to see if there's any changes. He doesn't see any changes. So you know what he does then? They audible to basically the Addison jet sweep. Mm-hmm. And they knew because what the defense was going into the timeout, and because there was an adjustment made by Kelvin Shepard to switch the coverages, they knew already what to call against it. And that's what I'm saying about less experienced coordinators. You have to be willing to give them time to grow. Otherwise, you shouldn't hire them. In my opinion, that play, I don't know if it would have cost us the game. I mean, 6 turnovers definitely didn't help us. But if we get the ball back there, could we have gone down, scored, won the game? Maybe. And then does this game now matter? Probably, since the Green Bay Packers lost out. So just some insight for you guys from a coaching perspective. When as soon as we went into that timeout, I was chewing out the wife's ear out and said, "Watch this! They're going to come after Shepard." And what do they do? Mm-hmm. You watch them. O'Connell on the sideline call it out. Quarterback, who I don't even remember his name. I don't even know if he's in the league, but he calls the adjustment or the audible. And I was like, yeah, they just got the game.
Yeah, and it's for an offense when that happens. I mean, that's got to be the greatest feeling. I remember, my high school football playing days was the extent of my playing days. But yeah, I mean that's incredibly fun when it works. And yeah, you're right. I mean, it was essentially a game winner, and it was like on that easy of a call, just get your fast guy out on. It's like, why can't we get that with a Jameson kind of a thing? But yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing. It sounds like Shepard, it sounds like they'll be keeping him around. And then obviously I think everybody in Detroit Lions Nation knows, everybody in the Duke Crew is probably all in the same boat. We need a play caller. I don't think Campbell can continue to call plays. I don't know that he wants to.
Yeah, I don't think MCD wants to be the OC. I think he wants to be focused on other things, but is what it is. All right, here goes Jake Bates for the kickoff. It's up there. It's out there. It's down there. It's going to be received at the 4-yard line. He's at the 10, the 15, the 20, 25. He's going to cut it back, run into some traffic, and be brought down, we'll say the 25.5-yard line. Now a bunch of people getting up, talking about each other's mamas.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Coach Dan, is this the first year that you implemented the game streams?
No, I did some last year. I don't remember the year before that, but I know I did them last year.
Oh, you were doing those last year. Okay. Yeah, it's a fun thing, man. It's not as much at stake here. As you mentioned, that Vikings game would have been great to have for the playoff stakes here on this, but it's still fun, man. It's Lions football.
Right. And you're going to have to go about 5 months to the next time you see it. So Lions send the blitz. They get it out in time, and it's going to be about a 7-yard gain to Loveland. So one of the things, it depends on the talent you're working with. Some teams, maybe they're too raw. I would think the Lions have enough vets where you can mix up coverages. They historically want to play a ton of man. The problem is teams now can scheme for it. So if you can mix your coverages consistently, especially with a younger quarterback, maybe you catch them off guard once or twice a game. Really, you get 1 or 2 turnovers a game. That's swinging it. All right, 2nd and 2. They're going to pitch it out to Swift, who makes a spin move and is going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. Lopez got burnt. Nearly got him in the backfield for about a 3-yard loss. Instead, maybe slowed him down just enough for him to get him at the line.
Yeah, exactly what you just talked about, too. That's how the Bears have done this year. It's the turnover battle. They've been getting – I think they lead the league in turnovers or interceptions. They don't have a great pass rush. But you're talking about a team that's just having the ball bounce their way a lot, and I give credit to them as much as I hate them.
Right.
But it's Ben Johnson's a great coach, and he's got these guys playing pretty well. I'd be surprised if they win multiple playoff games, though.
Swift picks up about 7 on the 3rd and 1, and it will be a Bears first down. He had one man to beat, and thankfully he didn't beat him. All right, let's see. Talking about some Bears stuff, so I'm not going to worry about that. But, and everybody would do things differently. As much as I like Derek Barnes, I probably wouldn't have re-signed him. I would have went with something a little different there. I don't think he has a strength, but I also don't think he has a weakness as a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bears up on the line. Williams making the adjustment. By the way, he's a former USC guy. He's going to hand it off. Aiden Hudson brings him down after about a 1.5 yard gain. They'll set up a roughly 2nd and 8.
You're kind of right there on Barnes, and the reason I agree with that is there's games where it's like, you want guys that obviously stand out, right? You notice them when they make a huge hit or you get a pick like he did against the Bucs in the playoffs, but I don't remember the last time he made a huge game-changing play.
On his own, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And there lies the problem. Like Tyreek Williams, even though we don't talk about him a lot, Bears here is 2nd and 7. You got multiple tight end formation. They're going to hand off Swift. He's got all sorts of room. He's got a first down and a little bit more. But anyways, getting back to different stuff like Tyreek Williams, my opinion, doesn't need to be anybody's opinion out there. He brings a strength on the field. It's not dual in that he can shut down the run and get to the quarterback, but he occupies 2 blockers the vast majority of time. Derek Barnes, you paid a lot of money for a guy that doesn't help you nor hurt you.
That's the problem with it. You know what you're getting with Tyreek. You don't necessarily know what you're getting out of Barnes on a week-to-week basis.
All right, another 12 personnel package from the Bears. Puts a tight end in motion. They're going to pitch it up to Swift. Swift's got it, but he's going to be stopped after about 1 yard, maybe 1.5 yard gain as Captain Jack drops the hammer, and Captain Jack's got some words for somebody on the Lions because somebody's out of position. Unfortunately for the Lions, a lot of the miscommunications, in my opinion, the last 2 months, or why you're getting up with so many big runs, you're no longer playing compressed formation out of your front 4 to try to stop interior runs. You're spreading them out more to get after the quarterback, but you're now relying on the linebackers and safeties to stop those outside lanes more, and they're getting roasted when the safeties overcommit and get to the outside edge.
Yep, communication.
2nd and 8. Caleb in a pistol. He's going to hand it off, and the Lions are all over it. Speaking of Tyreek Williams, Tyreek the Freak, he's going to take him down for about a 2-yard loss.
It's such an interesting thing. I remember hearing Jeff Risdon, who I know you've had on before, and I love Jeff Risdon, does awesome work, and he obviously has great intel as well. From what he said, Ben Johnson was not particularly fond of DeAndre Swift, so it's kind of interesting that's his running back here in Chicago. But it makes sense. You're not going to not go there because of one player.
Right.
And so try to make it work. But I feel like that has to do with Swift not being all
right, 3rd and 9 here. Caleb's got it. He's going to swing it out and into the feet of, I believe, Swift, who, would have had no shot. Even if he caught it, he would have lost about 8 yards. So Lions defense doing something we really haven't seen in about a month. But it is a new year, Riley. The 2025 defense is over. This is the 2026 Detroit Lions defense, and the Lions were all over the Bears.
This is the change we wanted, man. All it took was a flip of the calendar, and we're back in business here. So,
rest is history.
So, yeah, I think so. Now I'm just getting to the third and 9 play here, but is Chicago lining up for a field goal, or are they not close enough?
All right, we're getting bots already, so I got to block somebody. Guess I got to read the comment section a little bit more when I see that stuff happen. All right, Lions going to field it. Khalif Raymond's at the 15. He's going to get out to the 20, maybe dive across the line to maybe get to the 21 or 2. We'll see where they officially mark him. So I'm assuming we got a commercial coming, but my opinion, I think the Lions hit. I mean, maybe you could have got somebody who was more outstanding than Tyleek Williams, but he didn't miss with the pick. Ratledge, I think he's done pretty well for a rookie. I think he's going to be better. Tesla, most of us, I'm assuming, would agree. Now that he's getting more run, more reps, he's coming along. What are your thoughts on all three?
I love it because you asked me a couple of weeks ago if I had seen any, players I would rather Brad Holmes drafted. I said no. And then, of course, I went and kind of looked at it. Every team could say that. There are players, right? I look at Ratledge. What would you think of Ratledge if you saw him playing next to Ragnow and Zeitler this year? Well, I guess they knew Zeitler was out, but look, I'm happy with those 3 players, and I expect that they can be even better players next year on a team that wins 11, 12, 13 games, hopefully even, wins the division again. I'm very confident in all 3 of those players. And you're right, Tyleek's, you know what you're going to get. So if you can build, okay, you're going to do your run stuffing job here and then get more interior pressure guys around him. Yeah, then it starts to cook, right? It starts to really look really, really good.
Yeah. And, the draft before the Lions rolled the dice on a bunch of projects. Brad Holmes is going to have to answer why that is. I get why you physically like Giovanni Manu, but you had to also understand this guy's going to take some time and a lot of reps to grow. He may pan out still. I thought when you saw him a little bit this year, did he look ready to be a starter in the NFL? No. Did he look significantly improved over the first time he got on a preseason game the year prior? Yeah, I thought he had. And if he does end up developing, we're all going to revisit that 24 draft and say, man, Lions did something here. Some of the other guys in there, it's just the fact that they're not playing by now because of injury or whatever. Terrion Arnold, I thought was playing well, but he's got to be available. Rakestraw, I think he's got next preseason. If he doesn't really stand out, he's probably on another team. He'll get cut because the Lions are already looking to draft beyond him, I would think.
For sure. Yeah, it's an interesting thing with projects because they still are projects. We still need to see, and like you said, if they are good players next year, hey, maybe he knew, what he was doing. And that's football fandom and football analysis is it's emotional, and then you step back and you analyze it, and then you get emotional again, and you kind of, and it's are there players that you would rather the Lions had right now for sure, especially given the way that this went this year? But you don't want to have projects when your window's open for sure. But
we got a screen to Jameson Williams for about 7 yards on the first play of the Lions drive. Sorry, I know we're a little bit ahead of you.
No, you're good. No, yeah. If you start calling a play, I'll zip it. That's what everyone's here for, is the game. So, but yeah, this is nice thing is by the end of the day today, we will know right where you get the 4th pick or the 4th place schedule, and then also should have a good idea where you're drafting.
All right, tight formation again. Goff checking now. Single backfield, split receivers, 2 tight ends, also split sides. Now motioning to a strong side, and Dave Montgomery's going to get it. He's going to power forward, going to get the first down, and maybe just a little bit more on 2nd and 2. I'm going to say he's going to get about 4.5 yards. So if, keep talking about some of the younger players, let's just say TA works out, Terrion Arnold works out, and if you can get Manu or somebody else from the 24 draft class to work out, now at least you got something out of it. This draft class, I do think Frazier is going to pan out, Ratledge, Tesla, etc. But all right, Goff currently empty backfield. Now I'm going to shift people around. David Montgomery in the backfield, trips low, single high is Jameson Williams. Play action pass from Goff. Goff's under some pressure, and he's going to go down. Montez Sweat got to him. They beat him around the right tackle, and multiple Bears get to him.
Yeah, it's a case of a good play call. It sounds like. I'll see the play here in just a moment, but I know Chicago has generated a ton of pass rush and sacks this year, so I'll see how this play unfolds. But
so getting back as we're in the shotgun trips, low single high, 2nd and 15 now. I'll go into it after this play, but Goff drops back. He's going to check it down underneath St. Brown, going to get about half the yardage back. So one problem I've had, and every coach is going to do something different. So don't take what I say as the Bible ever. It's just my opinions. But a lot of times, you've got a struggling offensive line that isn't last year's offensive line or the year before. You got to have quicker reads. Like on Christmas Day against the Vikings, if you go back and watch the film, most of the drops, or the routes, I should say, are 8, 10, 15 yards down the field. He doesn't have that kind of time. And just like on this last play action pass where he got sacked, there's nothing short of an 8-yard route. And because of that, he's got to wait some time for people. All right, well, there's another catch, though, from St. Brown for another first down. And before he goes down, Lions going to be up to about the 48-yard line. And Goff, once again, on target, on time. And I can't say if I was the OC for the Lions, they would go any better. The only thing I can say is against someone like Minnesota that likes to blitz so much, or right there where you had the Bears in an all-out blitz, you're going to have some hot reads to get rid of that ball, 1-step, 2-step drop.
Yeah, you want to believe you've got a counter, right? You got to have those all-out blitz, quick beaters.
All right, another strong formation. Goff's going to play action pass. He's going to dump it off. Jameson Williams gets hits in the hands, and he dropped it. He would have had some room to run. Probably would have got a first down. Instead, it's 2nd and 10.
That's the allotment of drops for the day for these guys so far. I don't know what's going on with. Again, I'll see the play here. He
started looking downfield before he actually secured the pass. Happens.
Yeah, it does. But and it's so interesting with Goff, man. That I saw that St. Brown throw just now. It's either a duck or a Stafford-esque tight spiral with him.
Shotgun formation, too low, too high, running back high side. Bears showing blitz. They're bringing 6. Hot read goes to St. Brown, who gets free for a first down and maybe just a little bit more.
Yeah, I saw the JMO drop just there. You're 100% right. That's exactly what caused that. You got too excited, started looking ahead.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has different opinions. I mean, there's people that always tell me I do something wrong, and maybe there's some validity to it, but I just do think in this offseason, if the Lions really believe in, talking about the 24 draft, if they believe in Sion Vaki, then there's probably a high probability they're going to move off David Montgomery or ask him to take a pay cut. I don't think David Montgomery is going to take that pay cut, so they're probably going to release him, and then he'll look to sign with somebody else. I guess it's a double-edged sword. If the organization believes enough to tell David Montgomery, hey, you need a pay cut to stay here, and they say, no, we're going to move on, then you must believe in Sion Vaki, or that you're going to address that backup running back spot, free agency, the draft, or something. I don't know. What would you do, Riley, with David Montgomery?
That's such a great point. I remember this offseason going on shows and talking about, I do expect it to lean a little bit more Jahmyr Gibbs this year. Here's the thing. To think of Sonic and Knuckles and that duo breaking up, and I think that's been the thing I've missed the most about this team this year is where are those Montgomery drives? And that's how Ben Johnson did it. This was Montgomery's drive, and then this is Gibbs' drive, and it just worked to a T, to perfection. I think Montgomery still has plenty in the tank, but there's no reason he's going to take a pay cut when he knows and feels he's underutilized this year. I do know that Sione Vake is a phenomenal football player. I mean, I watched him live many, many times. I was so excited when they got him. I haven't seen the production from him that I thought we would to this point. But that guy can run the football. Absolutely, he can. And so it's tough, man. All those puzzle pieces and things they have to take into consideration on it. I'd love to see Montgomery back. Right now, I'm kind of 60-40 that he doesn't come back. And that sucks because absolutely love David Montgomery, but he's not going to take a pay cut when he's getting 5 or 6 carries a game and knows he still can contribute to a winning team.
Right. I hope he stays. I do. I just think because of what he's getting paid, and if they're really going to try to free up money to invest in other areas, it would be one way to probably free up $7 million, and $7 million there, 20 with Decker, 7 or 8 for Glasgow. I mean, that you probably just got a starter or two that could impact that offensive line.
So you think Decker's coming back?
No,
I think
but if he retires, you're going to get about 20 million in savings. Glasgow, I want to say, is like 7 or 8 million. Dave Montgomery, you'd save about 8 or 9 million. So this comes down to what you want to do to save that money.
Exactly.
I hope they keep Dave Montgomery, but
it's also the cost of having a Jahmyr Gibbs, and it's like, see, this is why you just invest in the line and then get your 5th or 6th. I know Monungai for the Bears was a late round pick for him, and he's done pretty well this year, but all
right. Pitch out, razzle dazzle. They're on. It's tipped. Dang it! They were doing a flea flicker, but Goff's pass was tipped and knocked down. Unfortunately, you got to David Montgomery. Got it to Monty, and then he flipped it to St. Brown, who then flipped it to Goff. Goff, yeah, 94 for the Bears, jumped pretty high.
So that puts us at third or second down.
2nd and 10 now. Shotgun formation. Tesla isolated high. He got trips down low. Running backs Gibbs to the high side. Bears showing man, dropping back. Goff's got some time, a little bit of pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's going to unleash it to Jameson Williams, who's going to catch it. He's going to get a block from Ratledge down the field. He's going to pick up about 13 yards for Detroit Lions. First down.
Move the chains. Love it.
The one thing I will say and Riley, let me know your thoughts here. As good as our line was the last year or two prior to this one, Ratledge and Mahogany, as they grow and develop, they're way more athletic than what we had in Zeitler,
right.
And Glasgow. How, in your opinion, how much could that really impact things? Hold on. We got 1st and 10. Goff under center. Single high. Trips low. Dave Montgomery in. Hand off to Montgomery. He's got a little bit of room. He's got about 5, we'll say 4.5, maybe 5 yards. Now you can hit that question.
I think it's a great point because of reasons like what you're talking about. Their athleticism, their youth. I don't feel like the Lions' offensive line being an elite potentially, or at least a very good offensive line next year. I don't think that's. I think the Lions are closer to that than being further away from it, if that makes sense. I think that those players are good players. These aren't like, man, we got to replace 4 guys. You got to replace 1 for sure, and then bring in some experienced guys. And if those guys take a leap that you expect young players to take, the Lions could be back in business next year.
All right, 1st and 20 for Detroit. There was a holding on that play, tight formation. They're going to pitch it out to Dave Montgomery. He's got 1 block. He's got 2 blocks. He's got 3 blocks. He's going to pick up about 7 of the 20 yards, set up a 2nd and we'll say 13.
So now we'll be kind of where we were in the first quarter, right? We're moving the ball and then hopefully don't stall here now that the field gets condensed.
I mean, the Lions are doing exactly what they wanted to do this game. They're killing the clock. All right, Goff in the shotgun. Deuces high with the tight end. Deuces low, no tight end. And they're going to unleash it across the middle to Fisker, who's going to get about a 5-yard gain. That'll set up a 3rd and 8.
I like what Cody said here. I really like Glasgow. Don't understand the hate at all. Just goes out and plays. Sure, he's not great, but does whatever we need to do. I think that's the valid.
Right with him. I mean, he's stable. It's just, is that your future? I guess all I'd say.
Yeah. When you have Super Bowl expectations going into the year and then possibly finish last in a division, as good as the division is, that's what you start looking at is the players like that. But Cody, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, love Graham Glasgow.
All right, shotgun, trips high, running back low, plus Jameson Williams isolated low. Man-to-man coverage. Goff's got time. He's going to unleash it down the field to Amon-Ra St. Brown for Detroit Lions. First down.
Love it. We'll take it. They're showing the playoff picture now, so the Panthers are in, huh? Yep.
St. Brown with his 29th catch of this drive.
29 catches on 31 targets. The other 2 were drops.
Right. Well, it is what it is. Lions are moving the ball. They're eating up clock. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson's offense have not had an impact this game.
See, Caleb's body language there, he's upset because he wants that record today. He 100% wants it, no matter what they say.
Shotgun, single high, running back is Gibbs also high. You got trips low. Goff takes the snap. He's dropping back. It's batted down to the line. They don't always have to get to the quarterback to affect the quarterback. Goff is 12 out of 15 for 108 yards.
Silver Surfer calling for Monty to get back in. Now, let's see if they go to him. This is obviously in the years past. This is the bread and butter for Montgomery.
Oh, I'm surprised with Gibbs. They've done it some this year, but I'm surprised when they get man. He doesn't release on like an interior wheel route. There's no linebacker in this league. If he cuts out the sideline, then cuts back in, that's going to keep up with him. It just
100%.
Is what it is. All right, shotgun, 2 tight ends high, trickeration play for Goff. He's out there running, scrambling. He's going to throw it incomplete.
I would like to see Goff. I know it's easy to say when you see a ball get batted. I don't ever see him pump fake, but he gets these passes batted down, and he's not short, but pump fake.
6'4".
Yeah, I mean, just I feel like his passes get batted down more frequently than.
3rd and 10. Let's see what we do here. Plays this in the opposing territory, 13-3, Detroit. Got to get 7 though. 3s, especially on the road, aren't as tasty. All right, Bears are going to drop 4 or 5 guys deep here. They're going to try to keep everything down in front. Goff takes the snap. He's got some time. He's going to get under pressure. He escapes the pressure. He unleashes it into the end zone, but he hits a cameraman, I think.
Yeah. So keep him out there, or no? I'm forgetting. I'm the one that's behind on the play because I'm seeing Goff getting back in the huddle right now. So
just nobody over the middle. No short intermediate route. Just especially with the speed you have. Let somebody catch it and get yak.
Yep.
I don't know. 2 people can look at the same thing and see different stuff. All right, we're going to go for a Bates field goal. And it's a Bates breakout party as he puts it right down the middle. Tigers 6, Chicago White Sox 0. And we've got another bot in the channel. Ooh, we must be getting on some radars. We're getting bots in here.
Hey, man, Lions Talk Live's growing. And also, congratulations, Coach Dan. I did text you, but and shout out to the Do crew. I start every morning, whether I'm coming on the show or just listening in, but 16,000, that's awesome, man. That's a testament to the work that you do and everyone's love for this football team. So I'm excited for the offseason that we have coming up and see if we can't get us up to 20 by the time next season rolls around.
Who knows, man? But when this all started, never would have guessed it. But hey, just thankful for it and having some fun with it. Hopefully you guys have some fun with it too. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, great community. I love it, man. It's great to see a bunch of people. And on that note, shout out to both Bo Booth and Cody. I'm seeing a bunch of familiar faces. I know Silver Surfer, seeing you in here as well. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. And you got to be sickos to love this.
Commercial, let's check out Tankathon. And it still has us at 16, but we win this game. I think we'll probably go up to number 17. Of course, that's going to be dependent on how Baltimore does, but we're not going to be any worse than 17th, I don't think, in the draft. But I guess we could get up to 12. I don't know.
I think as high as 12. Yeah. How much do you buy into if I say, hey, Coach Dan, do you want the 3rd place schedule, the 4th place schedule? Would you weigh that if you were Dan Campbell going into this game? Or do you just say, I mean, we saw 2 teams last year go from worst to first, the Bears being 1. Jacksonville, I think, did it in their division. You just never know, right? You never know.
Yeah. I mean, look at the 49ers last year and look at them this year. I mean, you could probably go through Detroit's schedule and we could probably pick apart, man, everybody thought this would be a tough game. This would be an easy game. And how much of that did actually happen? Washington, I mean, that was going to be the game of the week. It was going to be the revenge game. And then it being, nothing. Probably a month before we played the Giants, probably most would have said, man, we're going to walk over them. And obviously that was a tough game as well. And just so much changes with free agency. And if you hit the right draft picks, you make a couple moves here and there. I mean, it is what it is. And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
hard to predict.
And-
What would
and
you do, Riley?
Yeah, I mean, so I was thinking about that too this morning, and I thought, I hate to go from last year's mentality and mindset to now be thinking, and it's different as if you're a fan and you're just saying, well, yeah, I'd rather the Lions have to play the Titans than the Rams, or however those are different conferences. But yes, I want the easier opponents, but also you want to believe that repair a few things this offseason and then get back to going in and just being confident. I don't care really who they're playing, and that's how it genuinely felt last year. I was so confident that the Lions were going to win every game. And I'm telling you, that's not me as a Lions fan. We all saw the way that the team was playing and the way that Coach Campbell was leading. I want to see him get back to just being the head coach that oversees everything. You get the right coordinators in and a few new players and hit reset and reshuffle the deck. And that's the NFL, and so, yeah, I don't think if the Lions do win this game, I'm not going to be heartbroken, which is win-win for today.
So I saw something on the show. You guys are saying Micro Mike, he isn't doing the game today? I thought he was.
Oh, is he not? Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, getting back to the game here, just for you guys want the score. There you go. All right, Caleb in a pseudo pistol. He's going to do a slight play action. He's got some time. He's going to leash it down the field, and it's tipped, nearly picked off by Jack the Hammer Campbell.
I see Micro Mike's live and rolling, but hey, we love having you guys here with us as well.
Yeah, 100%. Mike does a good job. He's a good dude.
He's awesome.
I've shown him some houses in the past. I know he's probably this year looking for a house. So I get a chance to actually meet him, talk to him. Super nice guy.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that I've actually one of my buddies, Jack, was telling me too, hey, let's get the score up on the screen. So I love that. So 6-0 for us, for the good guys.
All right. Hutchinson nearly gets the sack. Caleb Williams gets it off to Loveland just in time. That's going to set up about a 3rd and 4.
We talk about bright spots. Jack Campbell this year. My gosh, man. Such an awesome.
Yeah,
awesome
I would assume most Lions fans aren't thinking he's a wasted pick anymore. All right, 3rd and 3. Let's see what the Bears do here. They got a shotgun. Trip slow. One is the tight end. Running back low. Single isolation high. I'm assuming that's Loveland against Jack Campbell. Caleb's looking at him. He's under a little bit of pressure, and he's going to go down.
Listen.
Hutchinson gets to him. That will be his 14th and a half sack this year. Yes, he's in the top 3, I believe, for the NFL.
Sacking Caleb Williams is not easy. That's like a superpower for that kid. He's super elusive and gets out of him. Even if he's not eluding somebody, he just can't get caught, which I guess is eluding. But he's that's a good sack for Hutch to get, and I'll see the play here.
Yeah, I get there's still a lot of people that don't like him, don't think the Lions should have paid him. The only thing I can say, man, is I think he'll be even better if they get some actual help around him. All right, punt's fielded at the 15. He's at the 20. He's fighting forward. He's spinning to about the 23, 24-yard line. And there's just, as we get it, there's nobody in NFL history. It feels like they almost come up with these stats. But what we do know is in his first 4 years, nobody's had 45 or more sacks, 5 or more interceptions. And whatever the pressures are, he gets a ton of pressures. So I wouldn't call him a bust by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's going to be incredibly hard to get better than him. But sort of like Goff, I think Goff's good. But many fans, not all fans, think, well, if he's not the best player in the NFL, we should try to get that best player quarterback. And same with Hutch. He's not the best defensive lineman in the NFL. So we better try to get somebody better.
That's actually good. I had never thought of it like that, but yeah, Hutch is to DNs what Goff is to quarterbacks, depending on who you're asking, right? There's statistics that'll say they're elite, they're top 5. But I think coming off that injury last year, Hutch has had a very good season. And I think it's important that, knock on wood, he's got another half to go, but he's stayed healthy throughout this year. So reason stands, he'll be even better. Next year, will be Aiden Hutchinson's best of his career to this point.
Right. What was I going to say? And Derek Barnes is the Graham Glasgow of the defense.
Yes.
I mean, neither one of them are bad players. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful towards either one. I think they're both very good players. It's just they don't have a real, in my opinion, a real strength. They don't hurt you. They just don't help you.
Exactly. And that's why you see, what is it? 30% of every roster changes. We see that 30% change over from year to year. And that's why there's, it's hard for these guys to be really good players year in and year out. And so you get a year or two out of them. And then that's always the risk when you pay them and you reward them. But I think that for all the criticism Holmes gets, there are some contracts here where, Lions have a bunch of free agents. And I don't know that there's too many that, you're heartbroken if they don't come back. You would thank them for what they did while they were here. But Anzalone comes to mind. I think he's played his last game here as well.
Just trying to have some fun, man. He's already playing his last game here. One thing I will do in the offseason is, I know there's better probably, programs to use as far as more graphics and stuff. I probably should get to the point where I'm doing some of that and adding some more sound effects or whatever. So, I'll keep messing with things and learning stuff. So,
yeah, no, we'll keep growing. But the great thing is, and it's consistency is a talent. And I just know every morning the show starts at 5 a.m. for me. But Lions Talk Live is up and running, and you can take it to the bank.
Gibbs with a pitch on first down. He's going to get about 5. He pitched it out. He got a nice block from Hubbard, who I know Mike Payton at A to Z Sports is asking the question or posing the question, could he be the right tackle going forward if Decker retires, Panay moves the left tackle? He's not bad. He's got like 60 starts in the league, although he was drafted in 2013, a little bit older. All right, we got 2nd and 4 here for Goff in another shotgun. Now he's making an adjustment going under center. He got trips high with the tight end. Single low, St. Brown in motion to the low. Gibbs in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to Gibbs. He's going to shake and bake and say he gets 2 yards, set up about a 3rd and 2. Maybe a long one.
So the way that this game is unfolding to me, this has the feel, and this we see this a lot. When a team seems to be really quiet on one side of the ball, especially offense in the first half, this has the feel to me where Chicago might come out and put up a 30-point half in the second half. So if you want the Lions to win this game, I feel it's imperative they need to go get a touchdown here because, you've kept them quiet, but the scoreboard's not a big separation.
All right, Goff surveying the defense. They're showing all-out blitz. St. Brown being motioned in to help block. He got deuces high. They're going to hand it off to Gibbs. He's got one man to beat. He does not beat him. He's going to be brought down about a half-yard shy. Jalen Johnson broke through and did get to him. Yeah, Hubbard slipped down to one knee, and that basically killed the play. He lost his footing. If ever Dan Campbell is going to gamble, I would think this is it in a game that ultimately doesn't matter. Looks like they're going to keep him out there. Lions on 4th and 1. I'm going to say it's officially 4th and a half a yard. Here we go. Lions, tight formation. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, split out opposite side. Lions showing an adjustment. 3 on the clock, 2 on the clock. Dave Montgomery in. Lions, I think they drew an offside on the Bears. And they pushed a couple of different Lions down to the ground. Now the question is, was he drawn? They're going to huddle up. They're going to talk about it. And it's going to be against the Chicago Bears.
See, that's, and Chicago's playing their guys. I think most of their guys are out there. So this is the just giving the Lions a first down here. But again, if the Lions don't get a touchdown here, don't be surprised. I think the Bears are going to come out and I think they'll still end this game with 28 or more points.
All right, and the crowd. All right. All right, getting back to it. All right, tight formation. Goff now adjusting. Passing yards. Bears have 8, apparently. And Detroit has, I think they said 112. And again, another issue with the chain gang on the sidelines. That's going to cause a delay, a momentary pause in the game. They are struggling in Chicago. I want to say that's the 2nd or 3rd time it's happened. All right. Detroit 6, the Bears nothing. Penalties, 1 for Detroit for 10 yards, 1 for 5 for Chicago. Goff under center, deuces high, single low, play action pass. He's facing a blitz. He gets rid of it against to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who again, he's having a heck of a first half here. He might end the season with like 120 catches. All right, as we continue to evolve, Lions Talk Live. Let's the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, we got
Detroit
him.
Lions first time.
Yeah, you're talking about
Have to
getting
keep messing
sounds
with
incorporated. Yeah, you gotta, for every situation, man, we got them. You need a booing, you need a crowd going nuts. Let's it's
All right, Lions at the 49-yard line. First down, tight formation. Deuces high, play action pass again for Goff. He's just gonna pass it right back to Gibbs. He would have had some room. Got about a 5-yard gain, but he slipped slightly one of his feet out of bounds. Otherwise, he might have got about another 10.
You got Phil C asking, you get a new toy, Coach Dan. Maybe.
Yeah, kind of, Phil. I mean, every program's probably got stuff nobody uses. Just, don't always have time to mess with this stuff. So I'm just having some fun with it. Trying to make this as entertaining for you guys as possible. All right, 2nd and 4, dual backfield, lead blocker in there. Lions are going to pitch it out to Gibbs. He gets 1 block. He does not get 2 blocks. Instead, it will be no gain on the play, setting up 3rd and 4. Unfortunately, the Lions have struggled with that all year long.
Held Chicago to 30 yards on offense. 6 minutes left in the first half. They've got 30 yards.
Yeah.
God, that would have been nice if this game had playoff implications on.
Yeah, if Lions really, they would have won one of the last 3 or 4 games, whatever it is. This would have something, though. But that didn't happen. You have an opportunity to have your 4th straight winning year. 3rd and 4, shotgun formation, trips low, single high. Goff making another line adjustment. Zone coverage being shown from the Bears, or at least 2 guys in middle field zone. Goff drops it on a dime to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who gets another block. He's at the 10. He's going to go down at the 5-yard line. Big play, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Goff had time. Bears looks like they had some miscommunications in their secondary. Gave up inside leverage to St. Brown. And, yeah, the DB handed him off to one of the safeties. So that safety didn't know it. And, he sprung free.
I'm going to ask everybody, too. I still am learning kind of all what it is, but I'm sure everybody does, but evidently you have hype points. So we're always asking to have people like and subscribe. But if you guys do that hype thing, I think it helps the channel out. I got a Lions Talk Live hype award the other day. I was like, I guess that's where all my points are going. Hey, Lions get a touchdown here. We'll have something to be hyped about. Let's get 6. Let's stop settling for field goals.
And I want to give a shout out to 9 Drinks. I should have thought about putting the score up on the screen long ago, but never thought about it. Now it is there, and I'll keep it up there from future games. All right, 2nd and 10, shotgun formation, trips low, St. Brown on the sideline. Single high is isolated, St. Brown with Gibbs also to Goff's high side. Now you got Killer Kennedy, Tom Kennedy in motion. Goff under some pressure. He does get it out to Gibbs, who's going to walk it in for the Detroit Lions. Touchdown!
We'll take it. Hey, we'll take it. This is keeping the crowd in Chicago silent, I'm sure. And, hey, so what do we got, 12-0 now?
Yes. Let's see. I have to update this, but it's just funny because we were mentioning earlier, Riley, there's no linebacker in this league that can cover Gibbs on an in-cut route or wheel route, however you want to call it, an interior wheel. And
just get him in space. Yeah.
Went in, gone.
Well, yeah, love it. That seeing the play now. I love that route. That's the old Theo Riddick route, little arrow route.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Great play. And Gibbs lays it up through the field goal post. So, yeah, that's awesome. Hokey Doo says, that boy Gibbs. Hokey Doo, great to see you. One of my favorite people in here. So he's here every day. Everyone's here every day. And Phil said, I guess, only 3 times per week on the hype thing. I'm sure everybody's already doing that, but just appreciate everybody doing that for Coach Dan and Lions Talk Live channel. So now the thing will be, are we going for 2 or are they already sending Bates out for a kick?
They already kicked it.
All right.
I've up the scoreboard for 13-0.
Yeah, scoreboard's right in front of me. Love it. So yeah, Great Lakes State guy, Michigan, Theo Riddick, that arrow route. I remember so many times he made guys look silly on that, and it's a perfect route for Jahmyr Gibbs. So love it, man. This is interesting for Chicago. I know they're going to say, well, we don't need to win this game. They do play at home next week, regardless of the outcome of this game. But 30 yards of offense so far, and down 13 to the Lions. Let's go.
I just banned somebody, and it was a spam bot, wasn't it? Guys, let me know. But now it says GSWS or DSWJAN. I thought it was a ban, or excuse me, a spam bot. Hope I didn't ban somebody that I shouldn't have.
Hopefully not. Silver Surfer Theo Riddick was basically the receiver he was. And then King SJ says scoreboard's a great addition. Yeah, that's a good call. I do like that up there. And wish it would have had this outcome more this year. One or two more times, we would have been feeling great right now. But see, you talked all week. Do you want the Lions to win this game? Well, now that they're playing, they're up 13-0. It is what it is. The outcome, I'm going to be happy either way, honestly. But it kind of feels fun to beat the Bears if they can hold on.
Yeah, since Minnesota won, we're going to have the fourth place schedule, regardless of the outcome of the game. So the only difference this game is going to make is where you draft.
So go win. Go win, because now if you're drafting 16 or 12, you want the higher pick, but that's when Brad Holmes says that, no, I got to pick the right player, right?
So look at it this way. The Lions, if they win this game, they'll swept the first place team in the division. They would have been swept by the second and third place team.
In a division that went exact opposite from last year. I mean, last year it was Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears, and then it was exact opposite this year. And it's, I was having a conversation with my brother-in-law today, and we were talking about the Vikings are they going to be a scary team next year? They could be if they get the quarterback situation figured out, or if McCarthy takes a leap. But all four of these teams are expecting to be really good again next year. And it just feels like it's been years now. It's a bloodbath in this division. So,
hey, again, 9 drinks. I just want to say thanks for the idea about having the score on the TV or the show. So awesome. I'm going to keep that idea because that's something I should have thought of a long time ago. All right, here's the kick, and it's up there. It's out there. It's to the deep right side once again with Bates. It's going to be fielded at the 4-yard line. He's at the 10, 15, 20, 25. And he's going to be running into a wall of Lions. We'll say at the 30, maybe 31-yard line, depending on where they mark him.
We got Hassanin Mahdi in there. Can't wait to see Ahmed out there very soon. But 13-0 for the Lions. And Sanders says, you play to win the game. Herm Edwards, you're absolutely right. I think we'll all feel really good if the Lions get this done today.
Well, Days, the only thing I can say is the Lions won, 52-9 or something like that, the second game of the year. And right now it's 13-0. So that's what I know. That's the only thing I know. All right, Williams in a empty backfield. Trips high, deuces low. Lions showing some zone coverage here. They're going to get it on a screen pass, and then there is a flag on the field. Otherwise, it's a first down. We'll see what the flag is, assuming holding.
This is interesting. This is not the game I thought from Chicago. And again, I still think that they'll kind of get it rolling here. But this is not the first half I thought from Chicago. I thought they'd come out and thought it'd be back and forth and that they'd pull away late, honestly. But let's see if we can hold them to close out the half.
Here's a handoff to Swift on the first down carry. He's going to get 4 yards. Lions have had the ball just under 19 minutes. The Bears now are at 7 minutes. So the Lions defense should be pretty fresh. All right, 2nd and 6. Lions, if they get a stop here on the Bears going into half, that'd be great. Bears in hurry-up mode. 2nd and 6, they're going to hand it off, and it's going to be shut down for a 1.5, almost 2-yard gain. Set up we'll say 3rd and 4. 3.5 minutes to go until halftime.
You've held the ball for 18.5 minutes so far. That's a good recipe. Now we're seeing some life out of the defense again here.
Yeah, I don't know the Bears' situation enough to be able to say, hey, they would get something out of this win or not get something out of the win. So I don't know what they're playing for. They may just be trying to kill the clock too. I mean, I don't know. The only thing I do know is it's 13-0. There's another handoff, and it's going to be short of the line of gain. They're going to set up about a 4th and 2. Big decision here for Ben Johnson and the Bears. What are you going to do, Mean Gene?
I think if I'm not mistaken, there's a slight chance they could still finish 3rd. But at either rate, they're hosting a game next week. And then Yeah, I think they're playing either the Packers, Rams, maybe the Niners as well. So,
all right, here we go. Bears are going to go for it on 4th and 1. It's going to be 1 and about a half. Caleb in a shotgun. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to check it down to Loveland, who is left open on the zone coverage. Surprised the Lions didn't go man there. But it is what it is. It is a Bears first down, 2 minutes, 9 seconds to go.
Yeah, 4th down and short, and I'd like to see a man defense call there because that's so frustrating. But
Tyleek, oh no, that's Lacey. Sorry, Lacey nearly got a hand on the pass. All right, 2-minute warning.
And I'm sure you talked about it on the morning this week too, but were you surprised at all to see Kingsley released and off to Cleveland?
Let's say it again.
For Kingsley Agukon, were you surprised at all to see that release and then him end up with Cleveland?
Well, Cleveland, poached him, I guess you could say, off the practice squad. Dan Campbell, one of the reasons why I think players do want to play for him is he's honest. He's not going to BS him. He could have BS'd him and said, no, you're going to be the starter. You're the long-term plan here. And then he probably would have stayed. But when that didn't happen, now that word starts getting around the NFL and all the locker rooms, and probably doesn't help the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, you're right. That's if you're saying Campbell's honest to a fault, that's what you're talking about. Because he could have just said, yeah, no, you're starting. And then on Sunday, just change his mind. And then what's Kingsley going to do in that situation? But yeah, I think it also speaks to they were saying, okay, that we're okay losing him if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Campbell, I think, again, part of the reason why people like playing for him is you know where you stand, you know who he is. He doesn't try to hide things, but the downside is Kingsley made a business decision. At least the Cleveland Browns are telling me I'm going to be the starter this last game of the season and then next year. So I'm going to go there because that's best for my family and my future. Whether or not that's going to happen come next year, I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's, and I guess Cleveland, I don't know if they won today, but I do know that Myles Garrett did get that sack record against, I think, the Cincinnati Bengals. So kind of cool for them, at least for Garrett anyway. But Trim Reaper says Ben is still Little Johnson. And it's such an interesting thing with here because I love Ben Johnson. I was so happy those years he came back. Obviously, he eventually wanted to be a head coach, and that wasn't going to happen in Detroit. I would take Dan Campbell, absolutely. I think Campbell just needs to get another really good offensive coordinator, and I think we'll be right back to what we'd seen before or close to it.
Right. All right, we should be coming out of the 2-minute warning here pretty shortly. Let's see. We got a Verizon thing on the screen. Looks like we are back from it. Timeouts remaining. 2 for Detroit, 3 for the Bears.
Rocky says Bears Garrett gets the asterisk by that record. I'm not sure. I didn't see the play. I don't know if it was something you'll have to elaborate as to what the asterisk is on that. But
asterisk on what?
Myles Garrett got the sack record today. I don't know if it was. There's always that debate, because of what happened with Favre and Strahan, and was something. Did they, kind of give it to him?
Tight formation, play action. Hutchinson trips him up a little bit. He gets away from it, and then he throws it away. He's going to complete it, but about a 2-yard loss. Hutchinson nearly took him down for about an 8-yard loss. Got tripped up a little bit. Man, Caleb Williams, give him some credit. He kept the play alive. Nearly stumbles into a sack. And then, Rocky Singh nearly gets him too. Give Loveland some credit too. That's not an easy catch. All right, 2nd and 14, -4 on the play. We'll take it. Let's see if we can get a sack on this one. All right, Caleb Williams, another shotgun. Deuce is low, single high, running back to his high side as well. Lions showing man. There's the snap. Lions sending 4, release underneath, but the Lions. Hey, how about Tyleek Williams? Another tip pass. Again, I like this kid.
Yeah, Tyleek, man, is making some splash plays, just like we were talking about. You're going to get from him. So, hey, I love it, man. This is a good half for the Lions so far.
Right. They have every reason to tank this game, not show up, rest players. Just play to get a couple hot spots higher in the draft. But these players are playing. I mean, you can see it's important to them. All right, empty backfield for Williams. He takes the snap. He's got some time. He dishes it underneath, And yes, he's going to complete it for about a 12-yard gain. Going to set up about a 4th down and 2, we'll say.
Surely they'll go for a touchdown, right?
Under a minute to go.
Or do they take the points?
4th and 2 time for Ben Johnson. 46 ticks until halftime. Caleb Williams in a shotgun. Trips low, single high, running back high side. Lions in man. 4th and 2. Hutch bringing low pressure. Makes him get rid of it. It is dropped. Dropped. The Lions defense stands.
That's awesome. And here's a stat I would not have believed that they just showed on the screen. Caleb has 19 passes batted down this year. That's the most in the NFL. That actually surprises me.
So hold on a second here. It's going to be Lions ball either way. So they're either going to rule it a fumble by Barnes, generated by Barnes, that's recovered by Detroit, or an incomplete pass. So the difference is going to be about 7 yards. I think it's an incomplete pass, but they don't ask me. Either way, it's going to be Detroit's ball.
We'll take it now. So how much time's on the clock? What,
21 seconds.
21 seconds. I'd love a shot to J-Mo here. Do something deep.
I mean, you got nothing to lose if you're Detroit, and you got 2 timeouts. You got Tesla, you got J-Mo, Cleve Raymond. And maybe, here's a thought for everybody in the Lions Talk Live Nation. Just try to get about 20 yards here to maybe 25 and let Jake Bates go for the record.
Why not? This seems like a good day to do that, right? Wow, that's surprising. I did not have on my card today that the Lions would shut the Bears out through the first half. And again, they're playing their guys. As far as I know, I mean, most of their starters are out there.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see Ben Johnson going for it on 4th. He knows he's, doesn't have to per se, but you kind of have to if you're playing Dan Campbell and going for it. So didn't take the points there. So big first half so far for the Lions.
All right. D. Monty at quarterback on this play. Put in all the people, empty backfield, and let him rumble, bumble, and stumble forward for about 20 yards. Call timeout. Bring Goff back in. Maybe a slant for 10 or so yards. Timeout. Jake Bates. Boom it.
Perfect. And I wouldn't even mind throwing Tyleek out there at receiver for one of those plays. Just try something, mix it up, see what we got here. But
Detroit,
football, man,
they are playing for him. So they may know. I mean, the players may be worried. If they like Shep, they may be playing their butt off to say, hey, don't give up on him. And they want him to stay. So you got a good point there, my friend.
That is a great point. I didn't think about that going into this game too. You have nothing to lose. Players didn't seem super motivated and enthused on Christmas, kind of a weird deal. And so then you think, okay, they're just checked out. But last game of the year, yeah, if you love your coach, if you want your coach to be back, if you know that there's talk that they might not bring him back, yeah, you go and you lay it all out there. And could mean a lot for Shepard if they keep, no matter what happens, that first half is a feather in his hat for sure.
All right. I don't know if they ruled what it was. It's going to be Detroit's ball no matter what. Incomplete pass actually gives you more yards, but I get if you're Derek Barnes, you want probably the forced fumble on your stat sheet. And I think Barnes actually recovered it too, but I don't know that. All right. Well, whatever it is, Detroit ball at the 30, shotgun formation. You got single low J-Mo. You got deuces high. Running backs Gibbs to the high side. Bears are dropping back a lot of people. They're going to throw it underneath the Gibbs who gets it. Get out of bounds. Get out of bounds. He does get out of bounds after a first down. 24 on the clock. So they put a little time back on the clock for the Lions.
Yeah, seemed like that was the right move because they burned a few extra seconds there figuring out what was going on at the end of the scrum there on the drive before. So a few extra seconds could mean a few extra points for the Lions.
Good. All right, you're about, I think, the 42-yard line, right around there. So you've got to get probably another 20 to have a firm field goal. Still got the 2 timeouts. Goff, another shotgun situation. Gibbs now to his low side. You got deuces high, deuces low. And there's a snap. Goff drops back under a little pressure. Going to quick slant it in to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's going to get about 7. Lions are going to call their second timeout, I believe, with 18 ticks left on the clock. And they're going to have a message from State Farm.
Silver Surfer asks, are they playing for Shep, for Campbell, or for both? Hope it's the last of the 3. I mean, yeah, I didn't think of that. And was that you, Coach Dan, that had that thought, or somebody in the Duke crew that made that comment about playing hard for Shep? I didn't think about that going into the game today, but either way, man, love it.
I want to say it was Detroit D that said, they're playing for Shep, and I think they're right. I think you guys are all right. I think they're playing for themselves. They're playing for the guy to the right and the left and the coaching staff. I mean, they understand this season didn't go the way they wanted, but you know what? Ending on a win, 9-win season, you're going to feel a lot better about things going into that offseason. All right, here we go. We got 2nd and 4, 18 seconds, 1 timeout left.
Please get points here. I feel like so many times this year, I was at the game against the Rams and give up points before half. Be the team that gets the points right before halftime.
Off shotgun, deuces high and low, takes a snap, drops back, throws it. Another shot in the middle of the field to St. Brown. Lions got to get down here, 12. And it looks like they called their timeout real quick. So they are now in field goal range for Mr. Bates. And Brown, yes, he read the coverage there very well. You can check out the zone coverage. The Lions on that route give 2 people in the same zone, so the defense has to make a choice. Who are you taking away the short route? Who are you taking away on the long route? The interior DB took away the short route. That gave up St. Brown for the long route, and Goff read it. Yeah,
that's beautiful. That's the poetry in motion that football is when it works like that.
All right, you got 12 seconds.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be, so you're at the 35-yard line, so you're easily in ideal field goal range. Let's see what they can get more here. Maybe a shot towards the end zone. Deuce is high, deuce is low. Here's the snap. He's got time. He's going to throw it out of bounds. 8 seconds left. I would say it's time for the field goal. Yeah.
Burned the last time out, right? Yep.
They already burned. Yep.
110 yards for Amon-Ra today. Not bad through one half of football. Golly, he had 3 touchdowns that week 2 game too.
All right, they're going to leave Goff on the field with 8 seconds. You have no timeouts. Anything tackled inbounds, you're not going to have enough time.
Yep. So it has to just be a shot to the end zone, it seems.
Well, the DBs know that too. And if I'm them, I'm keeping everybody deep, but I'm keeping the guys on the sideline trying to jump routes here. Goff takes the snap. He's looking. There's a shot down the field, and it's out of bounds. Didn't like what he saw for St. Brown. 3 seconds on the clock. You're going to get a field goal opportunity for Detroit.
Now hit this, and that's about as good of a first half relative to what expectations were for me anyway coming into today's game. 16-0, 16-4 Goff.
All right, 53-yard attempt for Jake the Bates. No real wind. I don't see anything moving on the uprights. All right, waiting the snap. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. And it's no good.
Damn it.
Just misses. That is half. 13-0 Detroit. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Riley, if you're sticking around, you can talk to the Duke crew. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here momentarily.
Yeah, I'll hold it down for us here, Coach, while you're off.
Sounds good. See you in a few.
All right, guys, let me just go through real quick here our first half stats. I know everyone's got their phones on them and probably keeping tabs, but hey, for what it's worth, 237 yards for the Lions compared to 69 for Chicago. 200 passing yards. They've held Caleb to 38 through the air. I do expect coming out in the second half, again, they're going to downplay what Ben Johnson's saying. Hey, it's a tertiary or whatever it was to try to get the he's got 2 marks he can get, most in franchise history, and then their first 4,000 yards guy. They're going to go for it. When you're this close, you can downplay the importance of it, but I do expect Chicago coming out guns blazing here to start the third quarter. Rushing yards, 37 for Detroit, 31 for Chicago. First downs, the Lions have 15. Chicago's got 4. Third down efficiency, this is a big stat I always look at. 1 for 5 that you've held to Chicago, or Chicago to just 1 out of 5. 4 for 7 for Detroit. Not bad. You've ran an extra 19 plays, 39 only 20 plays for Chicago. That's asinine. Of course, yeah, they're going to come out guns blazing. So I look for that here in the second half. Each team's got 1 sack. And again, that's time of possession, 19 minutes to, call it 20 minutes for Detroit and about 10 for Chicago. So, and interestingly enough, Detroit's got 13 tackles to Chicago's 22. So let's see how that plays out for us here in the second half going forward. But let's get to you guys, the heart and soul of everything that we're doing here with this. King SJ, keep the foot on the gas in the second half. Absolutely. I'm coming again, man. Whatever you've got defensively, just, you can't just send the dogs and dial up all kinds of exotic blitzes and get loose with it. But Chicago's going to come out guns blazing here because they literally have nothing to lose and a couple things to gain. At least that, from that standpoint of getting that record, which Ben Johnson said almost one of his first press conferences this year. That's what I want to get for Caleb this year, is make him a 4,000 yard passer. There's no doubt egos involved here. There's no doubt you want to go out and be able to say, first year there, I won the division. First year, we made him a 4,000 yard passer, and that's something to build on. Xavier, hope the Lions keep it going. Detroit's got feed Monty the ball. I appreciate you saying that. Let me go back to the stats. 3 carries for Montgomery for 12 yards in the first half. What do you guys think? I know, we talk about this a lot, but where are you guys at with Montgomery? We all love Jahmyr Gibbs, but I'm just not used to accustomed. None of us are to seeing a box score with Montgomery. 5 carries, 18 yards, 6 carries, 23 yards. It's just, it's frustrating because he's a great player. And if he leaves the Lions this year and goes to a team that has a pretty good situation, it's going to hurt to see him do well, because it's like, why don't we have that? Hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully, depending on his price tag and where he's at with everything, if you can kind of retain him, that would obviously be the way to go. Trim, Chicago is SAWFT soft. I love that. Let's see. Michael's got Legatron missing at 53 when he's good for 60 to 70 on most days. Well, you're right, man. I was at the game seeing him warm up in LA at the SoFi Stadium, and I was talking to my dad. I'm like, man, look at Bates, because he's just like a flick of a wrist. I mean, it was straight down the middle every time, and then he goes out and missed the first field goal of the game. And those were from, as they do in the warm-ups. They're deep, man. They're 60 or 70, but you're exactly right, Michael. It's interesting with, Bates. It's either you almost feel comfortable if he's further back than he is closer up. Detroit's he's getting 4 yards a carry. Need more knuckles. Pierce Sargent. With you, man. I would love to see Montgomery, even though it's just not as clean without the 1-2 punch going, because you got to keep Gibbs' big play potential out there. But hey, if you can keep Chicago, limited on offense, shorten the game. Yeah, would love to see Montgomery go out there, because even if he gets 2-3 yards, which usually he'll get hit at 2 or 3, but then gets brought down at 5-6 or whatever it is there, but keeps the clock moving there. Let's see. We've got need to give Montgomery the ball, but not enough blocking with the tight ends out. That's a good point too. You're hurting, man. You look at this game. No, who are we missing today? We've got Panay's out, Arnold, Branch. Who else? We got Kirby, Sam Laporta. I mean, it's just those are all players that you're saying those aren't really just our starters. Those are our best of our best players. So it's frustrating to see. But let's see. Austin and Maddie's got hope in the second half. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to need to be, man, for sure, because I keep saying it. But Chicago, be prepared for it. They're going to come out guns blazing. Can the Lions get a stop? That's how Chicago's won a lot of games this year. I think Caleb Williams said it. It's like that's been our recipe. They've gotten the ball to bounce their way in close games late. That's not a knock on them. That's you win the game. But they've gotten the turnover battle. And so if you're not getting the turnover battle, does it start to look like this? This is why that first half of what we just saw, it'll be a different game in the playoffs, but I will be surprised if Chicago wins more than one playoff game, because I still think that they're a little bit a ways from being at that point. Let's see. Cody's got Monty is much better inside runner, not just power, but he finds little holes. He absolutely does. I remember seeing him so many times. You think of him as kind of this brute, kind of just go north and south. He's got some wiggle to him, man. He's such an awesome player, and I can't imagine that he can't spring a big run here, which is what we did not have against Minnesota, which we need today. Spring a couple big runs and continue to. If the Lions can control this, 2/3 of the possession here in the second half like they did in the first half, they're going to win this game. Phil's got Ben still chokes in big games. Yeah, I mean, it's, they, again, I think it was 6 times this year the Bears have trailed within 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So 2-minute warning and won the game. That's the most since 1970. So, they are getting kind of clutch, but as far as big game, if something's on the line, we'll see how he's doing. Here's one for Phil I actually like. Let's see Vaki get some touches. I'm telling you guys, and I have to mention this. Anybody that is a Michigan fan, I am, if you don't know, I'm from Utah, and I've got to just say, I've been waiting to get on the show to say, if you are not excited about Kyle Whittingham, you should be. He is an outstanding football coach, and I honestly think, I would bet it's more likely that over the next 5 years, he wins a national championship with Michigan. I think that's more likely than not. You've got an excellent football coach in Kyle Whittingham. But yes, anyway, Phil, you're right. Forgive my Utah Utes tangent, but I'd love to see Vaki get out there and get some carries, because I'm telling you guys, I've seen him play many times. The kid can carry the rock. He's an absolutely legitimate ball carrier. Jen's got, I hope the Bears get the Rams. Stafford will eat Johnson alive. I'm with you 100%. If the Rams and the Bears play in the playoffs, I expect the Rams to win that game for sure. Silver Surfer Skipper can't even reach the ball on the ground. Let's see. Rock's got hoping for once that the Lions are in the locker room planning adjustments if needed. Yeah, that's I think coordinators, this is where they do their magic. This is where you make your money. You game plan all week, but then you got to go in and say, okay, this is how they, you're playing chess, right? So this is what we need to start doing, stop doing, and keep doing. Phil says he agrees. Trim Reaper, great hire for the Wolverines. I'm telling you guys, Kyle Whittingham, I don't know, and I know everybody in here knows ball, but Utah, we never know. We always feel kind of overlooked out here. If you're not excited about Kyle Whittingham, you absolutely should be. If I was a Michigan Wolverine fan, I would, I'm so sad that he left. Now Utah's got a coach in waiting that they brought in that, we're optimistic for. So, and it was just the way it, shook out. It's time. But I am not one of the Utah Ute fans that's upset with Kyle Whittingham for leaving and going to Michigan. Come on. You got a shot to win it all there. And I won't be surprised if he does. Pierce Sargent says, do we see Brad this week or next week? I want to say should be this week. It might be, I'll ask Coach Dan if he knows, but I think it should be maybe Monday or Tuesday. I think it's pretty quickly after the locker room clean out, and that's the official mark of the off season's under motion or in motion. Silver Surfer says, I think some coaches underestimate those things. Who the halfback who gets the ball at the 3 or the 4 or 5 yard line, wears defenses out. Monty is 230, nimble and a great pass catcher. Yeah. So you're absolutely right. Yeah. 3-4 yard gain, that's fine. 3 yards here, 5 yards here, first down, throw, get a first down and just keep it moving. And that's, there's something to be said for it. It's a hell of a lot better than just pass. All right, punt and put the defense back out on the field, and it rests your defense as well. Cody's got silver this year. Gibbs got way too many negative yards too. It can't start a drive 2nd and 14. Great point. Absolutely right on that. Phil's got 21 years at the same school. Tells a lot about his character. 100%. He's a phenomenal football coach. Let's see. Detroit's got, I just hope he can get the most out of Underwood. I expect that he will. Eddie's got, I think Kyle Whittingham made a mistake in not bringing back Coach. Yeah, see, so that'll be interesting. But here's what I'll also say. If I'm not mistaken, he's the defensive coordinator. Tell me if I'm wrong. But here's the other thing. Jay Hill that he got from BYU. Listen, if you are a Michigan fan and you're not excited about the staff that Kalani and Jason Beck, the offensive coordinator, I'm telling you guys, Michigan is going to do phenomenal. So sorry to Michigan State fans or any non-Michigan fans in here, but I'm speaking from an intimate knowledge of this coach's staff that you guys just brought in. Jay Hill is in it. He's why BYU was, well, Kalani Stock is a great coach too, but Jay Hill is a phenomenal defensive coordinator. Could be the next head coach there, honestly, as well. So if I'm not mistaken, Winkdale was the defense coordinator, but the guy you got, I'm telling you guys, if you don't love him now, start loving him, because you will probably by week 1. Cody's also got 21 years at Utah. I didn't know that. He is such a good coach, man. He led Utah through the Pac-12, and Utah eventually won the Pac-12 a couple times. Coach Whittingham had Utah one year, a game away from the playoff when it was only a 14 playoff. Just again, every coach has his flaws, but I love Kyle Whittingham as much as I love Dan Campbell. I'll say that. So he is, if you're not excited about him as your head coach, don't buy whatever you're saying or reading that says, he was he's old. He's got plenty of juice in the tank. That's not anything to worry about. He's going to do really, really well there. It says, with the coaching issues at Michigan now, a lot of players are hitting how many players hit the portal? If I was a college football player and I had one conversation with Kyle Whittingham, I'd say, all right, I'm sticking around. Simchich I won't take 5 years at Michigan. I don't think so. I really don't. Coach Dan, it's my fault. Somebody talked about Vaki, so I went on a Utah Ute tangent. I had to go off and say my bit about Kyle Whittingham, who is a phenomenal head coach. I expect he's going to do extremely well at Michigan. But, we're just kind of going through our comments here, and I went on a little tangent. So now we're talking a little Michigan football, but that's what we're doing. We're hanging out, guys. Week 18. It's not the game that we wanted here, but we're still doing it together, and it's going to pay off because next year when we're back in the playoffs and we've got the whole crew, it'll be we'll remember this day and say, man, we were doing it even when it wasn't the cool popular thing to do when the Lions weren't playing for all of the marbles this year. But we'll see how things start to go here second half. Some Montgomery carries would be ideal.
Yeah, I was going to put this on the screen, but I don't really think it's big enough for anybody to read. So,
yeah, and I always kind of start off here. As soon as you dip off, I'll rip through our stats here and kind of go through team stats and then player stats here. And Montgomery, I think, has got 3 carries. Again, it's not enough. But yeah, they've done a phenomenal job so far with defensively. I expect Chicago to come out guns blazing because there's no way that they're not good. Ben Johnson said at one of his first press conferences, I came here because of the quarterback and I want to make him a 4,000-yard passer. And there's no doubt there's ego involved. And you want to be able to say, I went there and guess what? In year 1, 4,000-yard passer. Year 1, won the division. That's they're going for it for sure.
All right, here's the kickoff. He's got it at the 1-yard line. Nice kick. He's at the 15, the 20. 25, going to go down around the 26.5-yard line. So, as you guys can see on the screen, thank you, 9 drinks. 13-0 Detroit at the half. Bears get the ball to start the second half. Aaron Andrews is talking about stuff that Ben Johnson said at halftime. Here's what I know. Lions dominated the time of possession. Riley, you saw it with your own eyes. Let's see what the Bears do here. See if they can get some offense going. All right, Williams under center, single back, 2 low receivers, 1 in motion to the high side. Lions showing zone. They're going to hand it off, and Wheat takes him down. Maybe a yard and a half gain. Wheat, big pickup, I guess you could say, from the Dallas Cowboys, and why he hasn't been great, he also hasn't hurt us.
Yeah, so this is interesting for Chicago because now that's a little bit of pressure right here for them, right? Because it's like, well, surely they can't go into the playoffs off this bad of a game. Let's see what Ben Johnson does. Surely if you're making halftime adjustments, let's see him.
Lions showing zone again. Shotgun from Williams. He's going to get it off to Loveland. It's going to be taken down by Malcolm Rodriguez. The ghost of Christmas past. Bears going to get about 6 yards on that one. It's going to set up a third, and we'll say 3. First half possessions, only 3 for Chicago. Punt, and loss of downs. 69 total yards. 3rd and 4. Caleb Williams and the Bears here trying to get a first down. Trip slow, single high. Lions showing man coverage here. Little bit of token pressure. It's caught. It is incomplete, excuse me. Loveland, I thought, had it, dropped it. Rocky El-Singh busted up the play. Detroit Lions force a 4th and 4 to start this half.
Here's a couple of really cool comments. Ahmed's dad says, hope to see Ahmed Hosni next to Hutch. Hey, we all love it. We're dying for that, pressure opposite of Hutchinson, and maybe the kid's on the roster right now. And then let's see, somebody I think gave Jen a shout out, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Chicago about to punt it. They take the snap. The kick is in the air. It's up there. It's out there. It's going to be fielded at the 20-yard line. Raymond Fair catches it. And here comes JG, Jared Goff, and the team.
There we go. Hold them to 3 and out. Not a bad start to the half. Oh, yeah, as Phil giving Jen a shout-out for exercise shorts. Does these great daily lifting and stretches. That's awesome.
Yeah, she runs her social media. She's got something like 150 or 200,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know, something like that. She doesn't do YouTube as much. Let's see. How are you guys so far ahead? We're watching with a digital antenna. So it's as close as watching it on the field as you can. I always tell people if you can go out and buy one around you, go ahead and check it out. Don't remember the kid's name on YouTube, but there's a kid probably like 25 years old. He is like the antenna whiz. You want to know anything about how to adjust your antenna or whatever, he's going to be the one to tell you how to do it. Let's see, Phil, never mind. It's okay. Gary got a stop. We did. The Great Lakes don't get going on Michigan too much. The fanboys will start making our out. Okay, fair enough. We'll try to avoid such things.
Yeah, I knew that as a sensitive topic in here, but I just had to vouch for Kyle Whittingham. I didn't. Of course, the day he said he was stepping down, I did talk to a friend. I said, "Could he go to Michigan?" Because it was his opening. But hey, we're all here. What ties us together is the Lions.
Sorry, Wednesday, I believe, is due to be his postseason presser. So, if you want to watch it at home, Susie, no sound. It's got to be on your end because we're hearing each other here. Let's see, Trim River. I think I'm synced up with Coach Dan for the first time. Congratulations, Eddie. Hi, friend. Hey, Eddie, how you doing? All right, we got playoffs starting next week. One goal is a Super Bowl. And unfortunately, this year for the Lions, it's going to be an adopt a team situation for Lions fans. Riley, who are you going to be cheering on in the postseason for the NFL?
That's a great question, and might be another divisive thing. But if it's not the Lions, it's the Rams, because I still to this day, Matthew Stafford is my favorite player. He always will be. So I'd love to see 9 get a second one. Once the Lions are out, I don't care. But Rams, if anybody. What about you guys? That's a good question. What do you guys in the chats? If it's not the Lions, do you have a preference one way or another here? Not the Bears, for damn sure.
Showing a bunch of St. Brown highlights and his incredible first half. 11 targets, 9 catches, 110 yards the first half. Here we go. Detroit breaking the huddle. Waiting for the camera to show me what's going on here. Goff under center. Tesla isolated high, Gibbs in your backfield, 2 receivers low. They're going to hand it off to Gibbs. He's got a little bit of a hole. He's got 5, 10. We'll say 13 yards totality on that play. 13 and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. Riley Rams, okay, all right. I don't know who I'll cheer for. Maybe I'll just cheer for everybody. All right, here we go. It is 1st and 10 Detroit.
The cool thing is, you'll get a new AFC team for sure. It won't be the Chiefs again in the Super Bowl. So at least some different, fresh blood in there.
Gibbs powers forward on the first down carry, gets about 2, maybe 2.5. Lions have dominated the time of possession in this game, the yards on the field. Give some credit to the Lions offense and defense. They've come into this game saying, hey, there is no tomorrow. 2nd and 7.
There is no tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. And I think Phil noticed the German and American flag on Amon Ra's helmet as first, folks. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's shout out to his heritage out there.
All right, there's a handoff on a little bit of trickeration to Gibbs, who's going to power forward for about 4 yards and set up a 3rd and we'll say 2, maybe 3. If you want to say it's a long 3 or a long 2, maybe.
16 first downs for the Lions to Chicago's 4. Just wild.
All right, I guess they're going to mark it a little bit further back. 3rd and 4, which means
this is big.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you held them to a 3 and out, and now if you can go have another one of these 5-6 minute drives, shorten the game.
Shotgun formation. Gibbs to his low side. Deuces high, deuces low for the Detroit Lions. Bears showing blitz. They back out of the blitz, and we got something happening. A flag on the play. Delay a game on the Lions. It's going to make it 3rd and 9. I wasn't watching the play clock, so I don't know if there was a good call or not. I try to be as honest as I can be with the officiating. Unfortunately, the officiating may not always be honest.
Let me see here. They're just getting to the line on that 3rd and 4 play, so I'll see what it looks like.
All right, 3rd and 9 now for Detroit. Going to move him back 5 yards here. All right, give us the low side, deuces lows, deuces high, basically same stuff. Goff takes the snap. He's dropping back. A little bit of pressure, and he's going to go down. Looked like he got hit in the head on that takedown. Apparently, the officials did not see it that way. And it will be a sack on the play.
Yeah, I was going to say, too, they've done a pretty good job with Goff today, and that's, keeping him upright and just got to burn some time here.
Decker goes inside on a stunt by the Bears defensive line and gives up the outside rush lane. Yeah, Goff really didn't have a chance there. All right, the punt is up. It's out there. It's gone. And it's going to be caught at the, we'll say, 16-yard line. He's at the 20, the 25, the 30, before he runs into a gaggle of Lions. 10.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
It's funny how in football, like a luxury 1 minute becomes something where you're like, oh, was I just being too greedy? Because I didn't expect the Lions to get a 3 and out to start the half, but now you just it's frustrating that you didn't. Even if the Lions didn't get points there, but if you had killed 5 minutes or so, at least just shorten it. But now defense back up.
Yeah, I do think when the Lions play overseas next year, it's going to be in Germany, just so they can take it. The NFL can take advantage of St. Brown's popularity there.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice gaggle, indeed. It was a gaggle, a multitude of Lions who took him down. Let's see, Coach Rock D can tee off on his snap count. I wonder if they will. Silver Surfer CH. All right, not sure on that one. Let's see, Coach Rock, he always snaps with 2 seconds, and that look we. All right. Hutchinson Swiss flag is Swiss. I get that. Here we go. All right. See what the Lions D can do here. All right. Check out the other scoreboards from across the National Football League. All right. Let me pull it up here and see if there's really anything of pertinence going on. Hey, Aaron Glenn. Oof, it's been a long year for him. Bills 21. The Jets nada. Lions, you already know. Chargers are down to the Broncos 10-3. Broncos have the ball. Chiefs 3, Raiders 6. Raiders just lose, baby. That is their mantra this game.
My dad and stepmom are out at that game, and not the game they thought they were going to go to when they got the tickets earlier this year.
God bless them. I don't know if I would have had the cojones to show, man. That's going to be a terrible game. All right, we got the Patriots 17, Finns 10. I do want the Finns to win because that would help in our tankathon opportunity for the Lions to move up on the board. If Miami could win, well, of course, then the Lions would have to lose, and I don't want that. So, all right, never mind. All right, anything else of note here? Hey, the Commanders with a commanding 10-7 lead over the Eagles. Rams 16, Cards 6, and that one doesn't really impact this one way or the other.
I saw a crazy stat with the Giants who, sure enough, they went on to win today against Dallas. Somebody put out a stat with the Giants. They're over their last 38 games or something. They've won 8 or something like that. And 4 or 5 of those wins have come in a week 18 matchup where winning hurt their draft position. It's got to be tough to be a Giants fan. So they get the wins when it almost hurts a little bit.
All right, here we go. Back to the game. Caleb Williams takes a snap. He's going to play action pass. He's got time. He checks it off to Loveland, who's going to go down after about a 6-yard gain. Rock Yelsing taking him down. Again, for those who don't know, a lot of the free agent players who are playing for the Detroit Lions are playing with a purpose. They want to put stuff on film that potential employers will look at this offseason. Second and 4 for the Bears. Another strong formation, split receivers, one high, one low, one running back behind for Caleb Williams. Sends a man in motion to the high side. He's going to do a jet sweep. Lions, Derek Barnes initially had him. Instead, fell to the ground and gave up an 8-yard gain. Derek Barnes could have made a play in the backfield to shut it down. Instead, not so much. Over pursued. It happens.
Yeah, I started to get a little nervous here if Chicago goes and gets a touchdown here. See if we can stand and
tight formation in, 2 tight ends low, split receivers, 1 high, 1 low. Pull inside for the run play by one of those tight ends. And yes, Lions do not negotiate the pull by the tight end well. Give up about a 6-yard run there.
I just saw that Barnes play. Yeah, over pursued, and then that Luther Burden's good, man. He's come on late for Chicago. I know, they kind of brought him along slowly, but easier said than done. I know Barnes made the right read, but what did they say? $1 million move, 10-cent finish. Just didn't finish the play there.
And Caleb Williams throws a nice pass to number 20 of the Bears on 2nd and 4. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, number 20 does not catch it. I mean, it hits him right in the numbers. Places it so he can't get hit. I mean, it is what it is. Under 9 minutes to go in the third stanza. It is 3rd and 4. Your Detroit Lions defense trying to roar again into a stop. Shotgun formation, trips high, single low, running back is low as well. Lions showing man-to-man on the board here. Let's see what they do, if they make any adjustments. No, it's sticking in man. Caleb Williams under low pressure, escapes one guy, checks it out, and it is dropped by number 4 of the Bears. Swift, DeAndre didn't look so swift trying to catch that one.
See, so I just saw the play that he throws it to 20, and that's, one of the things Caleb does well is able to throw on the run. Doesn't have the best body language when guys drop passes. He's kind of so I'm about to see the 3rd down play here, another drop. So puts him in 4th and 4.
And they're going for it on 4th and 4.
Okay, all right.
Passes by the Bears today.
It's a big 3rd down here.
2 low, 2 high receivers, 1 running back to your high side. Lions showing man across the board, 2 high safeties. Lions thankfully didn't jump, tried to jump. Hutchinson knocks him out of the pocket. There's a flag on the play, free play. And it is tipped away. Unfortunately, we're going to get the Lions for jumping.
Dang it. So they gave us one in the first half and then got us out here in the second half. Still, it's not the game Chicago wanted to be playing, having to go for it on 4th here. 0 points halfway through the 3rd.
Lopez jumped early and gave him a free first down. It happens, man. It happens. Why does this feel like a preseason game? It more or less is, Phil. More or less. All right, 1st and 10 for the Bears. Penalties, 3 for 20 for Detroit. Caleb in a pistol formation. 1 penalty. That's it on Chicago. Now he goes up under center. Dual tight ends to the high side. Receivers are split, 1 high, 1 low, 1 running back behind. And we're going to get flags on Chicago, I believe. It's going to be a false start on Chicago. It's going to set up a 1st and 15.
That's so frustrating that you gave that up on that 4th down because you had 2 guys there, well defended, and Roy Lopez has been such a solid player this year, so it happens. But
all right,
on 4th down, come on.
It is what it is, man. Lions defense has played particularly well this game. Now, or can they do it once more? All right, shotgun trips high, single low, running back to your low side. There's a snap from Caleb Williams. He's got time. He looks inside and completes it for about a 6-yard gain. Thomas, the man in coverage, takes him down, but not until they hit the completion.
And it's interesting because of the way the game's being played out so far, but there's always this talk of, oh, man, Ben's going to have something in store for Detroit week 18. You're going to get some crazy trick play. We haven't seen anything.
Correction, 9-yard gain on the play. I forgot about the penalty. All right, so it is 2nd and 4 now. Tight formation, single low receiver, now in motion. Pulling back across the grain. Caleb Williams throws it deep down the field. He's got an interception. Avonte Maddox picks him off in the end zone.
Let's go. That turnover right there, that might be the difference maker just in this game here. That's insane.
in the crowd. So, all right, that's I'm gonna have to work on some of these sound effects now that I'm using them.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That's insane, man. That I'm about to see this play here. I can't believe that.
Hey, maybe Detroit D, maybe Lopez knew if I jump off sides here, Caleb Williams is going to get greedy and throw it to us in the end zone. I'm just speculating.
Yeah, maybe that's might be what it is. Just high IQ football right there.
Some outside the box thinking there. Set him up the whole way. Look at what he got. Williams just got picked off. Oh yeah, I'll take that. King SJ, nice turnover. Yes, it is. Jen, yes. Let's see the Trim Reaper. Woo, and back at you, Cody. Reed just running with his hands up like he knew it. He did. He threw his hands up in the air. Muska, thank you for not running out of the end zone. Okay. Phil, just give us some sound effects, Dan. I will work on that. I'm going to work on that more and more. Let's see. Detroit D, interceptions. Let's hope we get a few today. Cynthia, great play. It is. Phil, INT is worth something. King SJ, run the ball, burn the clock, and
yes.
Lead. I like the way you're thinking. Yeah, says Shaman. All right. Let's see if we have any other sound effects I can add. Let's see. Are there that I can load up here? Anything that's fun, at least.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, King SJ, though. If you come out, again, it's, points are the cherry on top here on this, but this can't be a 3-and-out ideally. Just burn some clock, get it to the situation where Chicago starts looking at it to say, we may only get the ball 2 more times. It starts getting them to play nervous. I'm blown away that this game's being played out this way. I always say, you think you know football, and I was convinced the Bears were scoring 30 or more today, but that's why we watch, right?
You can throw out the records when the Lions play the Bears every time.
Throw them out.
Now let's get the Lions offensive train rolling down the field, and let's get it.
Boom, there we go.
In the end zone.
We'll take it. There we go. Hey, and the other cool thing too, I think Caleb's thrown maybe his 6th or 7th interception. He doesn't throw a ton, and so to get that, at that stage of the game too, it's that's a great time for the Lions to get an interception on that.
Maddox was
Caleb's
open
momentum.
in the end zone, and Caleb Williams hit him.
Yeah, great ball, great catch, just wrong team.
Yeah, people used to make jokes all the time when Bernie Kosar, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, when you throw a pick, well, you can't tell because he's colorblind. You can't tell what the difference in the uniform. And there's probably some truth because teams would try to take advantage of the helmet rule and try to blend in. All right, anyways, I can get back to that moment. Goff with setting up a screen to let's see, we got Khalif Raymond with a first down run there, about 11 yards. Yeah, no, it was a thing after I think Kosar's 2nd or 3rd year in the league. Teams figured out he was colorblind, so they did everything they could to blend their helmets with whatever the Browns' colors were for that particular week.
Yeah, I can't imagine trying to play quarterback and not differentiate the the colors. That's a challenge for sure. But this is
shotgun for the Lions. 2 low, single high, running back's high side. Tight end is on your low side at the line. Now in motion is Fisker. There's the snap to Goff. Goff's got time. He's going to dial it up. He's going to get to the Khalif Raymond, who's breaking another move, and he's going to get about a 20-yard gain.
Nice.
And he's going to point, we're going this way.
I love it, man. This is great. This game's going great for Detroit. And, hey, pointed out, too, as well, the Vikings already won today. I forgot that they were playing that earlier window. So you're playing a little bit of house money right here. Yeah, Caleb's first interception in his last 121 attempts. Great time for the Lions to get that.
Khalif Raymond understands he's a free agent after this game. First down, 17 Detroit, 6 for the Bears. Goff under center sends J. Powell Williams in motion. Play action pass. He's got time. He drops it on a dime to Dave Montgomery, who breaks the tackle. Keeps going down the sideline for a first down and about 13 yards in totality.
There we go. Moving the chains.
We're trying to get the Lions offensive train just trending down the field. All aboard.
Love it.
We're going aboard, man. That way.
This is great. This. I have that feeling right now too. If when I woke up this morning, it's like, hey man, if the Lions lose, it's whatever. It is what it is. But now this game's going. Now knowing the Vikings already won, so your 4th place schedule is locked in place. Get this win. Let's go.
Goff under center, sends a tight end in motion. Play action pass again. Gonna drop it off to Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams about 6 yards as he runs out of bounds. Well, he's pushed. Lions actually doing some trickeration that's working today. All right. I'm gonna have to load more sound effects. I'm not happy with all these.
Oh, that's good, man. That's I know there's ways you can get touchdown calls and load it up in there and stuff. And who's our radio guy?
I'm gonna have to load some Dan Campbell sayings or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Goff under center, 2nd and 1. They're gonna give him 9 yards on that one. 2 running backs. Dave Montgomery's in. They're gonna hand it off to D Money, who's gonna get a first down and about 5 yards total on the play. We'll just say 5 minutes left in the third quarter. The Lions chewing up this game clock.
I love that play.
They're not worried about no draft position. We're worried about winning position.
Yeah, now that results in place, the Vikings winning earlier, now it kind of does feel like, hey, there is a little bit of momentum that you build with if you're able to win this game, especially the way it's going.
Lions 2 games versus the Bears this season. I didn't catch the stats, but it was very lopsided towards Detroit. All right, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Single back, 2 receivers high. Now setting Gibbs in motion as a receiver. Goff's going to hand it off to Dave Montgomery. He's going to slip through a few would-be tacklers, but he says I'm going to slip through a few more as he gets 9 yards on the play. Lions continue to evolve the wide receiver use of Gibbs.
These are some good play calls, man. I love the one to J-Mo there, just kind of have him going in motion, and then where it's like, okay, we're showing the Bears kind of what we're doing here, but it's just going to be a matter of J-Mo's going to be 2-3 steps ahead, and it's going to be an 8-yard game just based off of his speed alone.
All right, let's see what we do here on the next one. We've got 2nd and 1. We've got trickeration as we got Wildcat with David Montgomery. Bears are bringing everybody up to the line. Goff is isolated all alone and nobody even near him at the bottom of the screen. They're going to hand it off to Gibbs. Gibbs is going to fall forward, fighting through a few tackles for the Detroit Lions. First down.
And the play before with Montgomery, can't remember who it was in the at halftime that was made a comment here with me. Shout yourself out in there, but talking about his wiggle and how he's just that was such a great. That's the Montgomery play. Offensive line be damned, like he just got in, man. That's a 9-yard gain, making guys miss. That's the Montgomery we know and love.
All right,
Lions. Let's go.
I'm going to try to be fair to Mike Payton from A to Z Sports. He said Hilbert could be something for this team long term. I don't know about that, but I will try to give the guy some credit. He's been in the league for whatever it is, 13 years, and he is playing very well at right tackle today. He's had one play where he lost leverage and got down to the ground. Detroit Lions calling timeout here, by the way. But he's played very well. And if the Lions were to keep him and Jamarco Jones next year, I do think Jamarco Jones could start for you.
Yeah. They were very high on Jamarco Jones, right? It's going to be so fun. I look forward to coming on morning shows throughout the offseason as we get closer and closer to the draft. And then as we get closer and closer to the season, I feel like each offseason gets faster and faster but you start to see some of these pieces and guys that could, that could fill in. You almost don't even know that Panay's not playing today, the way the game's going. So,
yeah, I mean, the Lions have done a lot of things right. I mean, are the Bears playing to win? I don't know. The only thing I do know is their starters are out there and they're not.
They absolutely are. They're playing. Not playing to win would be if you are a starter, you're not playing. And of course you got to play some guys. You go, that's half your, it's half your team. But yeah, they are playing to win. And this is a very unsettling game for Chicago because they're going to downplay it. All right, now the playoffs start, but
right.
They are. A Chicago Bear fan right now is thinking like, uh-oh, we're going to be in trouble. And I won't be surprised if they lose their first playoff game. And I'm not. Yes, I don't.
In the playoffs?
What's that?
Can you imagine being a Green Bay Packers fan going to the playoffs?
Hey, great point as well. So now it's kind of like the year that I think it was 2016, the Lions ended up having to go to Seattle. They lost to Green Bay Sunday Night Football for the chance to win the division. They're on like a 4-game losing streak. And, it's not ideal. It's a new season, yes, but we see the guys celebrate in the locker room. Winning in this league is a huge, amazing feeling as a fan, and for the players, the coaches. Absolutely, Chicago wanted to win this game today, and they expected to. Still can, but I mean, there's been enough now of this game today to say Chicago fans got to be worried going into the playoffs for sure. But they made it. and we'll see how it goes for him.
Yeah, Coach Rock, as far as why they called the timeout, Dan Campbell obviously didn't like something that was happening. And you get a score here. I mean, you got pretty good control of the game with a little more than a quarter to go. There's 3 minutes left in the third, so we'll just say 18 minutes, just under 18 minutes. Lions have dominated this one everywhere but the scoreboard. Bears players, Bears fans probably scratching their head. But, hey, there's still a lot of game left. I mean, Bears have the ability to come back here. You just need to make sure you don't allow them to come back here. All right, first and goal. So you're just inside the 10-yard line. Goff in the shotgun, trips low, single high, running back high side as well. Bears in zone coverage. Goff dials it in. Looked like interference on the play, but maybe not because it was kind of behind St. Brown. Try to isolate St. Brown. I don't know if there was just some miscommunication there, but Goff threw it a little bit outside shoulder, and St. Brown kept going in. Second and goal. A field goal here. Still a 2-score game. Lions get a score here, though, a touchdown. That would be huge. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be huge.
Another Wildcat play from David Montgomery. He's got deuces low. They're going to hand it off. I know that. It's a fake handoff. It's an RPO. He's going to fall forward for about 3 yards. Now it is third and we'll say 7 yards, maybe 6.
So understandably went to St. Brown there on the first down. Is this Tesla time?
Tesla is coming in. David Montgomery is coming out. Bears fans are trying to fire up their team here. All right, Goff takes the snap. He drops back. He's going to dial it quickly to Jameson Williams, who drops it.
Damn it.
I don't know if he would have scored, but he probably would have got down to about the 2-yard line and maybe set up a 4th down opportunity.
So that brings us a 4th. Do you take the points, make it a 2-possession game?
I would think you'd take the field goal too. All right,
Yeah,
Jake Bates is walking on up. He's lining up. He's 2 out of 3 today. He missed one from 53, made 34 and 30. This one should be a chip shot, basically an extra point. 25-yard attempt. Kick is up. Is good. Detroit Lions going to extend the lead to 16-0, just like that. So I'm going to have to update the scorecard here.
Just crazy. And King SJ, I think, was the one that made a comment too, saying the only team he foresees the Bears being able to beat is the Packers. I think that is the preferred matchup if you are Chicago. But yeah, that's this is just crazy. I mean, this is, and it all can change so fast. And who knows? We'll see what ends up happening. But any Bears fan that, and again, I'll tip my hat to them. You won the division. If the Lions won the division, no matter how they did it, I'd be celebrating. I'd be happy as hell with it. But this is like the worst case scenario game for Chicago so far today, other than having a drastic injury to somebody. You're getting shut out by the Lions. Just, oh, man.
Give the Lions some credit. They are
for sure. Yeah,
they came to play today.
They came to play, and I love that point. I wish I would have thought of that coming into the game. Hey, if the guys believe in Shep, the word is that's been out there that they're leaning towards retaining him. Obviously Campbell hasn't made his decision, or if he hasn't gone public with it yet, but it's going to take some time to, decompress and evaluate it. But if that's up there, the players are privy to that, and they're going to know that, and they're going to say, hey, let's go play for this. And that happens. Great coaches have players that feel that way. And if the players do feel that way, it makes sense to bring him back. Let's see if he has a chance to grow, and if those guys are motivated, then that's huge. So we'll take it. Yeah, Bo Booth, take 3 all day, especially where you missed the one, I think it was right before half, right? So, but now it's a 2-possession game, which is huge when there's 1 quarter and some change to go. If feeling pretty good about the Lions' chances to win this, but we've seen some crazy things happen. So, but let's settle in. I will say I didn't. I was throughout the week. I'm just lose it. Lions is fine. Now that this game's going the way the way that it is, I should have known better. Shame on me. The emotions that can betray us sometimes of it, because of course we want to win this game. Of course we want to go out on a win and put Chicago. This is great. I mean, this makes them nervous for sure going into the playoffs. Jomo Line King, Tesla doesn't always get separation this year, but watch out next year. Hey, that's a great point as well. That's why I love you guys. That's a great point because we've seen him. What has he got, guys? 20 catches and 6 of them are touchdowns this year. But that grab against the Vikings was like the highlight from the Christmas game. Tesla being a huge contributor next year, or a very strong, from week 1. We're not waiting until week 6 to see him come in and have these games with no targets and catches. He's an awesome player.
One thing I'm surprised nobody in the Dew crew has pointed out so far, Riley. Obviously, with the Lions' offensive line performance this game, Penei Sewell was the weak link all season.
Yeah, it's and again, maybe that's what it took. Sit Penei today and then see. So what do you do with him this offseason?
Trade him. Maybe get a pack of bubblegum.
Yeah. Yep. Move up for a quarterback.
There you go. All right. Let's show the highlights of the Washington and Eagles game. Eagles just took the lead. Not that really matters to us at all. All right. Here comes
my sports huddle. I think that's our guy Lauren, right? High hopes for Tesla. Yeah. It felt like a luxury pick, but tell you what, if the Lions are an NFC North winner next year and he's a great week, wide receiver 3, possibly wide receiver 2 at some point along the way.
Caleb Williams under some pressure. He throws a jump ball up there and just a little too high. Lions got incredible up the middle pressure, forced him to throw off his back foot as he scrambled backwards, and maybe just a yard or two too high. Oh, man. Lions were getting after him. Wingo. We've been waiting to see him all season, and he exploded up the middle. Hopefully he's getting healthy again. 2nd and 10 with 2:04 to go in the third quarter. Caleb Williams in a shotgun formation. Deuce is high, single low. Running back is to his high side. Now sends a man in motion. They're going to hand it off up the middle. He's got about 4 or 5 yards when they finally bring him down, setting up about a 3rd and 5. Wingo, amongst others, on the tackle.
Yeah, Michael asks, MCDC taking the 4th down gamble out of the game today. It's I think they went for one, but yeah, he's smartly taking some points here. I think this last field goal, especially, that's when the game's only down to 17 minutes, whatever's left. That's the time to take the points for sure.
All right. Minute and 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. 3rd and 4. Williams in a shotgun. Single high, trips low. Running back is to Williams' high side. Lions showing man. There's the snap. Hutchinson, a little bit of token pressure. It is completed for a 1st down at about the 50-yard line. Meek Robinson gave up the inside leverage and got beat on the play.
Yeah, Jose asks, did the Lions defense stop the Bears running game so far? Yeah, so far and passing game. I mean, they picked Williams off. First time he's thrown a pick in 120 passes. Held him to like 37 yards in the first half. So
Williams
defensively, the Lions have played well.
Williams under center.
You're good, man.
Split receivers, one high, one low. They're going to try the tight end pull again up the middle. Multiple Lions on the play, bring it out. Ooh, and there's a fumble, but right after the whistle. I mean, like literally, the whistle blows, the fumble comes out. So I get why they don't give Detroit the fumble. Nice stop there. And the Lions have, throughout the season, they have struggled with tight end pulls into one of the gaps on the run plays. But they did a good job there. 2nd and 7. 18 seconds to go. And then we'll be in the 4th and final frame. Shotgun formation, trips high, tight end low. Running back is to Caleb Williams' right side, his low side. Williams drops back. He's under a little bit of pressure, throws it out to a wide open number 10 who stumbles down before he gets down for a 1st down. Barnes tags him down, and that will conclude the third quarter.
Yeah, okay. I just saw you rip that out. Yeah, you're right on that. And you talk about players that have done well this year, guys you'd like to see back. Who doesn't want Rock Yassin back on this team next year?
He's been awesome. See who all they resign.
So I'll say this, Coach Dan, as well. At halftime, I was talking about, guys, be ready. Chicago's going to come out guns blazing. They're going, there's now's as good a time as any for Chicago to come out and just let it loose. And to the Lions' credit, third quarter they've matched, kept them down. So I was wrong on that.
Well, so far they've managed to pitch a shutout. And there's one quarter to go. The Bears, I have to imagine they're going for touchdowns, not field goals the rest of the way. Pack of bubble gummies. There you go. All right, I'll leave that to you. 9 drinks. Let's see. Put your arms up. There, I concur, and wave them around like you just don't care. Barnes made a tackle. He did. Cody, no trick plays so far. Not much, no. Let's see, those. You realize the Lions win. The Lions will be 2-4 in the division. The NFC North champs. They beat the. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. You swept the Bears, the number 1 team. You got swept by the second, fourth, third place team. Excuse me. All right, so we're in the.
It's just interesting. Yeah, it's. And you talk about, there's no doubt Dan Campbell will feel extra good if they win this one. Sell off into the sunset that it is the offseason this year. You wish you were still playing, but get a win. And, of course, it means extra to him against Ben Johnson. And this team, that's a division team, division rival that reality is that next year they'll be the defending champs as the Lions have been. And so that's who you're gunning for. But I like the Lions' chances.
Well, the Lions are going to have some difficult decisions to make this offseason, but that ain't today. They'll have a week or two before probably 3 or 4 days before Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes start meeting to talk about things, unless they say, hey, we're going to take a week off before we start addressing this. Well, so see what shakes out.
Wednesday, you said, I think, right? Is that standard kind of when they do the –
Yeah, for Brad Holmes, that will be his end of the season, presser. So I'll cover that and have some videos out, I'm sure, about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's going to be a lot. All of us are going to be tuned in, and those press conferences have been so fun with Brad Holmes, and I absolutely still believe in Brad Holmes. Now it's you're just in a different phase of things, but I'm content with him as the general manager of this team, and I'm interested to see with everyone's going to be tuned in. We want to hear what he's got to say, what his thought process is, and set the tone for the offseason.
We got a flag to start the fourth quarter. They're huddling to talk about it. I'm like, there hasn't been a hike. They didn't even have both teams get to the line even. Neutral zone infraction on the defense. I guess I'd have to – it's on Lacey. I'd have to see the replay of that because neither team was fully at the line yet. I don't know what happened. It's going to be 1st and 5 with 15 minutes left in this game. Going to have to move on from it, move on to the next play. Caleb Williams under center, 12 personnel, multiple tight ends. He's going to play action. Nope, he is going to hand it off. Lions going to bring him down after a 2 to 3 yard gain, so it's going to be 2nd and 2 or 3. Wonder what the penalty was. I'd like to see the replay of that.
Yeah, I've got my TV muted, so I didn't hear the call, but interesting.
All right, shotgun formation. Dual receivers high, one in motion to the low side. Now Deuce is low, running backs to the low side. Caleb Williams making a quick line adjustment. 2nd and 2. Lions sending a blitz. Facing it. He's going to take a kill shot down the field and a touchdown. Meek Robinson beat on the play.
All right, so that's okay. So go for 2, I would imagine.
I would assume so. Yes. Meek Robinson, I'd have to watch the replay, but he's locked up man to man. Man, he just gives up way too much room. That inside cut or post pattern, however you want to refer to it, is wide open. Meek Robinson's about 3 yards away from him. All right.
See, that's
go ahead.
No, it's just the beauty of this game too. Is as dominant as the Lions have been. It's football's designed. It's hard to blow a team out, right? And so now it's pressure's back on to go.
Make an adjustment. 1 high, 1 low receivers. Tight end in motion, low side. They're going to hand it off to the running back, and he's going to get into the end zone.
Dang it! All right.
16-8.
Okay, so all right, we got a game. Oof, that was a tight spiral. Good pass.
America's Game of the Week just got a little bit more interesting. Well,
yeah, even 3 here is going to be important for the Lions to get. Just extend the.
The Lions can go down and even get a field goal here. That'd be big, but you got to
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Where's they make that shutdown, Justin Jefferson? I haven't seen him so much this year. I think he's gotten beat a lot this year. I don't think he'll be back. I wouldn't say touchdowns for Bears, and they are going for 2. They did need to answer here. I concur. King SJ, Bo. Oh well, there goes the shutout. So what? Correct. You still win the game. That's all that matters at this point. So
yeah,
Riley, what do you anticipate the Lions are going to do on this responding drive?
Yeah, it's imperative. I think you just said it well. Even getting 3 here, but you got to burn some time too, right? So if you get, the 3 points and then make it a 2-possession game as well, but I'd be very happy on this drive if you burn 3-4 minutes and it ends in 3 points. Obviously, touchdown would be great, but you got to come out and whatever play calls you've got, I feel like they've mixed it up pretty well. But St. Brown was dominant in the first half. I don't know what his stats were there in the third quarter, but I feel like now, if ever, is the time to go to St. Brown right now and you got to keep that clock moving, because if you have a quick turnout here, the Bears don't need a touchdown. They don't need the touchdown and 2-point conversion. They don't have to go tie the game on their next possession. And so you're kind of in a little bit of a dangerous spot right here. It's imperative to burn some time and just extend the time, the amount of possessions Chicago would theoretically need here. So even 3 points is fine here.
Take any points and you get them. Keep the pressure on the Bears. Respond. So, all right. Well, let's see. Great Lake Bear, first live with Coach, ! Digging it. We're digging having it here. Coach Rock, it was a blitz that should have been called off after they killed the play. Shaking my head again. I'll go with that. Let's see. Michigan Sports Auto, can Shep make adjustments to maintain control? We will find out.
Yeah, that's going to be, a big. They've done well, but that's the thing, right? It just takes one big play over the top. Those are those explosive plays. Hate that it happened there. I'd feel pretty good too if you kept them out on that 2-point conversion, because now you're still up. It's still a 2-possession game, with having a 10-point lead. But it's all right. The offense has played well today, and so. Just can't have a 3-and-out right here.
All right, update the scoreboard. You are right about that. So there we go. The scoreboard is updated. All right, there's the kickoff by the Bears. It's going to be fielded at about the 7-yard line. He's at the 20. They're going to fall forward over the 25. So Lions going to take over there.
I feel like the Bears have had enough breaks this year winning these games in the fourth quarter. They haven't played well enough to win today, so please, hopefully, we'll take this here. Come on.
Under pressure versus the Bears. Goff, 5 out of 6, week 2. Today, 8 out of 10. 141 yards in game 2, over 100 this game. So he's done well against the Bears this year.
Yeah, I think
right.
Matthew's right.
First 10 Detroit.
Field goal wins it.
Shotgun formation, deuces low, single high, quick snap to Goff. Goff's got time, facing the blitz. He gets it out to Khalif Raymond, who's got a first down. 15, 20, 20 yards. Forward.
Yes.
Khalif, the freak. Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond. I love it, man. That's a great time to utilize his speed. Just get him out in the open. Just get to that midfield spot. Like I said, I think we're all in cohorts on this one here with
that route they just ran. And I know we talked about it earlier. I'm surprised against Minnesota and other teams. They weren't run it more because
they weren't running it. Exactly. Minnesota did the same thing they did the first game, and you should have seen that.
Under center, make an adjustment, sends Tesla on motion to the low part of your screen. They're going to hand it off to Gibbs. Gibbs is going to crack back and get 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 yards.
That I see the play now to Raymond. Exactly right. He kind of dragged. It was almost like he was falling back like it was a screen pass. Just is what you said earlier. Coach's eye on it. Exactly what you're saying. Just utilize your speed underneath guys and let them. Perfect play for Raymond.
All right, here we go. 2nd and 1 for Detroit. Now under 13 minutes to go. They're already crossed the 50. Goff in a shotgun. Deuces high, deuces low. Gibbs to your low side. They're going to pitch it out to Gibbs. He's got a couple blockers. Can he get something? Gets back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Great play.
the Lions just don't block well enough on the edges. You know, they did when they had Laporta and Wright, but with the other personnel they have, their pitches or any kind of outside runs just rarely are there.
Yeah, right. Now I'm about to see that play that you're talking about. My great play comment was the one for Gibbs before. So big
In
third down here.
David Montgomery on 3rd and 1. Flea flicker. I'm kidding. All right. Lions with an odd formation. Deuce running backs in the backfield. Strong formation. Tight end in motion. They're going to hand it off to David Montgomery, who's going to throw it, apparently. Looked like he's going to throw it. And what a time for a very odd trick play that now results in about a 9-yard loss. They were trying to isolate Goff on a route. And, yeah, the Bears were all over it. Yeah, and I just heard Tom Brady saying that they're being too cute, and I agree. Just
run it. You need a yard. Dude, it's 3rd and 1. Just run it twice if you need it. Do it. I know Goff's not the greatest QB sneaker, but my gosh, man. That's exactly what you just gave the Bears exactly what they needed.
All right, the punt's away, and it's going to be fair caught at the 11-yard line.
Brutal.
I mean, if that would have went for a touchdown, everybody here watching would be saying, hey, great play call. Why haven't we done that all year? But Bears were clearly aware of the play, or at least the potential.
Yeah. And it's so frustrating because you would obviously I would prefer run it a couple times there because another 10 yards, you're in Bates field goal range, but wasn't a 3 and out, but
you had him right where you wanted them.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know, I would say for an OC, a good OC, you have a good feel for the game. And that's, not that I think Dan Campbell can't draw plays up or anything. I just don't think he has a good feel for it. Let's see if the Lions defense can rise to the occasion.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see what you're saying. You're right. If the play works, it's great, but it's also like, we didn't have to have it all or nothing there. And it's first down would have been great there because you get the first down, the clock keeps moving, and then you're theoretically in field goal range or should be. But is what it is now. Again, now you got to, and there's still plenty of time in this game where, again, Chicago doesn't need to go get the touchdown and 2-point conversion here. Even 3 points, they're starting to feel pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what shakes out. Your Lions, even if they go down and score a touchdown and get 2, you're not trailing, so you can still go down and win it. Well, we're in the 4th quarter. Be right back.
Yep, you're good. Eddie says that was a stupid play. Yeah. Again, it is that the hindsight of 2020, but 3rd and 1 at that spot in the field, I feel like just run it twice up the middle. Minimize risk. You either get it or, you get stuff there, and but you don't have a 6-7 yard loss, whatever ended up happening. Just isn't quick to adjust as Great Lakes. It's not that Dan isn't a good play caller or football smart. He isn't quick to adjust. Yeah, I think, and that's kind of what I think you're agreeing with what Coach Dan said. Obviously, he knows it and understands it, but it's kind of it does feel like there's a time I feel like an offensive coordinator, it's, guys hate getting run on. They hate getting passed on. They hate getting in. So it's all those years we had Stafford and a couple of games that even when Ben Johnson was calling, I remember Tampa week 2 last season, Goff threw like 55 times. You went away from what worked in week 1. It's you just got to have the discipline, right? And it's if you just kind of go full throttle, one speed, it's great when it works. But would have loved something different there for sure. Gibbs needs to cut up the field on that pitch. Just can't run out of bounds. Yeah, I agree with Coach Dan too. If you had Wright, even certainly Laporta, just need to spring him. One guy, but he got caught there. And
all right, here we go. Caleb Williams in the shotgun. Deuce is low. They're going to hand it off. Lions are all over it, and he's going to get no gain on the play. Lopez, amongst many other Lions players, bring him down. Lopez, I saw Jack Campbell. I think Rodriguez was in there too. All right, let's see what we do here. Can the Lions defense get a stop here? 2nd and 9. Man, if he got a yard there, I sure didn't see it.
Yeah, so this is a interesting spot here.
2nd and 9. All right. Shotgun again, deuces low, single high with the tight end at the line. Running back to the low side. Caleb Williams making a line adjustment. Lions showing man. A little bit of pressure and to give up real too easy. Inside leverage. Mills, the cornerback there, just kind of let him go. But hey, is what it is. First down for the Bears.
Come on.
McNeil's inactive this game. How much time left on the clock? There is 10 minutes and 14 seconds. Jack Campbell does have a ton of times. And there's a fumble by the Bears. Caleb Williams rushes back to it, gets it at the 1 yard line. He's going to throw it deep down the field. I don't think he got out of the tackle box, did he? He's not out of the tackle box. Well,
So they didn't call it.
No, they said there was a receiver in the area. In the area? Well, I guess within 10 yards. All right. Well, either way, it's 2nd and 10 now. Shotgun formation. Gosh. 1 high, 2 low. Caleb Williams takes snap. He's under a little bit of pressure from Aiden Hudson. Aiden Hudson falls down, but Muhammad in pursuit, and it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Nice.
So Lions got something here on the defense. Now's the time to use it. You got to get pressure on him and get that ball out of his hands. Shut down. What do you got? Threes.
That's 3 down. Let's go. This is huge. Get the ball back right here, defense. God, how did that get snapped over his head like 15 yards?
Shotgun. Single high, tight end motioning low, running back high for Williams, who now has 2 low, plus the tight end. Lions sending a blitz. Don't really get much with the blitz. Leave a man in one-on-one, and Rodriguez cannot get him down in time. In fact, they're struggling to get Loveland down about 15 to 20 yards on the play. The Lions' delayed blitz, as it has been all year, is a no-show.
Oh, that would have been so big to get the ball back there. Come on, Detroit. Man, Hutch was excellent on that second down.
1st and 10. 9:19 to go. They are now at the 41-yard line. Another shotgun for the Bears. 2 high in a stack. 2 tight ends low. Loveland in motion to the high. It's going to be a screen pass to number 10 of the Bears, who's got a first down. And brings up about 11 yards on the catch. Lions seemed caught off guard on that one.
Not the time to be caught off guard, fellas. Come on. The Bears can't keep getting away with this, man.
I mean, I know this is what I talk about lack of experience sometimes, but it doesn't take much to figure out the Lions' delayed blitz isn't working this year. There's a quick snap for the Bears in the shotgun. Lions caught off guard a little bit. Another completed pass, number 4. Rodriguez brings them down, but after about an 8-yard gain, it's going to be 2nd and about 2. Rodriguez getting some snaps here.
Can you get the stop of the season on this drive right here?
DJ Moore for the Bears is gimpy a little bit on the sidelines. Calling for a sub. We'll see if he comes back in. Might have twisted something. 8 minutes to go in this one. Empty backfield for the Bears. Trips low, deuces high. Another wide open pass to Loveland, who's taken down again after about a 20-yard gain.
It's so frustrating. You're shutting them out all day long. And then, they come out and 20 yards.
Zone coverage from the Lions, and they're just
picking it apart.
Well, the Lions don't play, as we all know, a lot of zones, so you're asking guys under duress to play at a high level, and that's the problem. Usually, I always say a half-second delay, that gets you killed at this level. All right, 1st and 10. Caleb Williams under low pressure, rolls out. He's looking. He's going to get about a 1-yard gain on the run. Derek Barnes tags him out of bounds. 7 minutes to go and ticking. 2nd down.
Come on, guys. This is probably about as.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was going to say that's also why in my first mock draft, I had the Lions drafting a lot more 6'2" corners and stuff like that, because I do think they're going to have to play more zone coverage going forward. But
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Worry about that. Empty backfield for Caleb Williams, 2 high, 3 low. Lions showing zone again. 4-man apparent rush. And it's completed for about a 9-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Mills, gave up the inside leverage again. A consistent theme from the Lions DBs.
Okay, this is going to be a big spot here.
6 minutes to go, 3rd and 1. That's a long one. I'll say it's closer to 2. Williams under center, 1 running back behind him, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. Tight end in motion down low. They're going to crack back it. It's open, and they're going to get a 1st down to a 1-yard line. Flag on the play, though. They're saying against Detroit, whatever it is. Holding on Detroit, I believe.
So that gives you so they're going to get the touchdown. Now, can you stop them on a 2-point conversion? Is it going to come down to who has the ball last? Oh, this would be so frustrating to give this away. Come on, guys.
Holding on Wingo.
Gosh, dang it.
Wait, where's he holding? At least I didn't see it. Doesn't mean it wasn't there, but it wasn't shown on the screen. Because at least what they just showed was not holding. All right, 1st and goal. 5.5 minutes to go. Play action pass, thrown to a wide open guy in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Derek Barnes forgot to guard him.
Come on. Offense going to need to do something.
He's in.
Okay, so 2-point conversion here. Still a big play.
All right, if you'd stop the 2-pointer, that would be huge here. 5:25 to go. Bears need the 2. Caleb Williams going up under center. He's got 3 high if you count the tight end and running back behind. 1 running back down low. Play action pass. Hutch looks like he was held and knocked to the ground. Got to keep playing, though. And it is completed.
Gosh, dang it. All right. Come on, offense. We can't give this away at this point today. Come on, guys.
I know who I'd blame, but it doesn't matter to me. All right, Barnes can guard a traffic cone. Let's see. King SJ, hopefully don't give Bears the ball back again after this. That would probably be ideal. I'm glad the season's over. Ridiculous. Big drive here. That's what I'm thinking here. All right. So it's tied up, and yes, I'll have to adjust it on the scoreboard. All right, so give me just a second here as I got to click buttons, and hey, just win, baby. That's what you got to do here. Well, can he go on a 5-minute drive, 5.5-minute drive, kick a field goal and win? Inquiring minds want to know, and we'll find out here momentarily. What we can say is Lions defense has played overall well here. Not so well in the last few minutes. I think we would all agree. And,
man. That field goal on that drive before would have been huge. Would have been great because now you have to have points. And you worry if you give the ball back to Chicago with the game tied, you're probably going to lose. So frustrating. Come on, guys.
Yeah, so I see the comments section has turned a little south on this one. All right, let's see. Prediction. We'll get a ref call in our favor. Might be. Brand, how much time left? About 5.5 minutes, but roughly, right around there. Michigan Sports Huddle. Eddie Hiller, we don't do that here. Yeah, I would say this. What is typical, Eddie? And I know you and I message each other sometimes, but typical as in like the last 4 years where the Lions are one of the top 10 teams in the league as far as record-wise, I would say this is not typical. Rock, you got any more trick plays, Dan? We'll find out. They don't ask me what plays to run. Jim, what did he put the defense in this predicament because of his bonehead play? Yeah, I didn't agree with the Goff trick play, but
yeah,
they didn't ask me.
Yeah,
this is not how you draw it up. I want to see on this replay that's showing now, was Hutch tripped or held on the ground? He gets past. That sure looks like kind of. And then, that same guy is the one who catches the touchdown. So.
All right, let's go. Let's rally up. Let's get this. Come on, go get some points here, guys. This is the Bears can't. It's not going to matter that much in the big scheme of things, but now you get this close. You want this win. I don't want another heartbreak.
There's the kick. It's going to be in the end zone. So the Lions going to bring it on up. 5:25 to go. Can't worry about the past. You only got to worry about the now. All right. Goff is 24 out of 35, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, and 101 rating. Caleb Williams, 90 rating, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and 196 yards, 19 out of 30 passing. There's your stat tracker provided by Fox Sports. All right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I figured that, Coach Rock, but we'll see what shakes out here. All right, here we go. 3 timeouts left for the Bears, 2 for Detroit. Goff making a line adjustment already. He's gone from shotgun to under center, trips low, 1 running back behind. What do you do here, Mean Gene? He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to swing it out to Gibbs, just a little too far and incomplete.
Come on.
They're going to show a highlight for the Rams, who just turned a 3-point lead into a 10-point lead over the Cardinals. Cardinals, man, they have played tough this year despite a multitude of different sins. Los Angeles Rams clinch the 5th seed with a win. 2nd and 10 for Detroit. 5:21 left in this one.
Come on, man. You got to have this, guys.
All right. Play action pass. Goff drops back. He's under some pressure. He gets it out to St. Brown, who gets about 4 yards. Washington leading Eagles. How about that? Ryan, okay, if you're going to say get a different quarterback, who do we get and how? And did you know in the time he's been with Detroit, Goff is the number 4 quarterback in the league? That's an odd statement that you want to get rid of him then, especially since he hasn't been a problem today. But, hey, to each their own, right? Some people wanted to get rid of Michael Jordan when he played for the Chicago Bulls. I'm guessing Ryan was one of them. All right, 3rd and 6. Goff in a shotgun, trips high, single low, gives to your low side as well. Lions line looking confused. 5 on the clock. There's the snap. Goff drops back. He throws it to a wide open. Jameson Williams beats his man. He's still going down the field, still running before picking up about 25 yards on the play.
Clutch. Timely. We needed that.
Trade for Lamar. Okay. How do we get Goff to say yes to that, Ryan? And also, what do you have to give up to make that happen? And help me out here. What has Lamar done that Goff hasn't?
Goff has a no trade clause too, right? So he could say
he does. But I'm just going to say, when people say that, I'm like, what has Lamar done? I mean, he hasn't even been to the Super Bowl. Goff's been to a Super Bowl. He's taken 2 teams to the championship game.
And if he goes and leads a game-winning drive here, oh man, I love that to JMO. That's what we needed. Come on.
There's a run up the middle to Dave Montgomery for about 4 yards. 2nd down, say 6.
We'll take it.
What has he done? Laughing out loud. We lose every year. You watch? Yeah, I do. Can you name another quarterback that's ever lived since the 1950s that's won 2 playoff games with Lion? Let me know who that is, because I'm not aware of that person. Yes, he's won 2 playoff games for the Lions. Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
All right, getting back to the games. 2nd and 6, another handoff here. This one's to Gibbs, who's going to sneak his way through for about 5 yards, setting up a 3rd and 1. But to your point also, Ryan, you can say that about every Lions player or coach, not just the quarterback. So why are you singling out one player and forgetting about the rest of the team or the snaps? It's almost like you're fixated. Stalker status.
Yeah. So,
All right.
Yeah, this is touchdown. You know, the drive before I would have been okay with the 3 field goal, but
Go win it. Go win it. I like the way
go win it. Go win it. Come on, guys.
Well, they're going to hand it off to Gibbs. Gibbs cracks it back. He's going to get it 5 yards, getting a fresh set of downs for the Lions. First down. 3:11 to go.
Come on.
I want a ring, period, no stats. Okay, great. But you single out. My question to you, Ryan, is why single out one player? Well, you can say the same thing about St. Brown, Taylor Decker, Dan Campbell, Lomas Brown, who's in the Hall of Fame. How about Kelvin Johnson, Ndamukong Suh? All those guys, none of them won a Super Bowl here. So why are you singling out one particular player? I mean, answer that for me. All right, Goff under center on 1st and 10. We're at that roughly the 40-yard line. 2.5 minutes to go.
Good play.
There's another hand off to get Montgomery. He cracks it outside. He gets outside. Don't go out of bounds, please. He does, but not before the Giants get a first down.
Perfect. Let's go. Now, this keeps happening throughout this game where we've gotten to the red zone and then kind of stalled. Need a touchdown. Need the touchdown. Come on.
Great legs. I kind of like that one. Have Skipper throw a reverse pass next. Hey, that's some outside the box thinking. Maybe Tesla. I mean, at least he was a quarterback. All right, they're going to say he was just shy of the first down. 2nd and 1, 2:30 to go, 16-16.
That's fine. Honestly, if they're saying he's short, because then we'd rather have another new set of downs.
Take it down to 2 minutes.
Stand down.
Looks like the Bears jumped off sides there by a mile.
Nice. See, I started having that burning, frustrating feeling with, the crowd's going nuts. I'm seeing my Bears fans. I have some friends that are Bears fans getting all excited. It's like, come on, guys. I get it. But you guys know today hasn't gone well for you. But, you still win. You'd be happy. But I'm looking forward to their hopeful demise coming up both today and here in the future. But got to win this game. Come on, guys.
All right, here we go. It is a first down for the Detroit Lions after the Chicago Bears penalty. 2:30 to go left in this game.
Yeah, he way jumped.
Next timeout or stoppage of play. I got to make the post-game show in case there is one. All right.
Yeah.
He's going to drop back the pass. He's going to throw into the dirt. Wise decision there. Everybody was covered pretty well on that one.
Yep. When you start making that thumbnail, whatever, Coach, I'll just make sure I'm reading everybody's comments here. So,
all right.
So get this here to the 2-minute warning. Is it still 2:30 or 2 minutes? What down are you on?
26 seconds, 2nd and 10. Goff in a shotgun formation. I was surprised they didn't run at that first one. Try to take it down to 2. They don't ask me. Dave Montgomery is in. Lions calling for it. They get it. Goff's got it. Swings it out and incomplete. Everybody on different pages there. Goff threw the out. Everybody else went in. Now,
take it to the 2-minute warning. Hand it off.
This is what I was saying about experience at your positions. I think anybody who's not under stress or duress would have the same opinion. And now they're going to call it intentional grounding on Goff because there was no receiver in the area. But terrible. I would say somebody's within 10 yards, just like when Caleb Williams.
That's terrible because now
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Just like with because it'd be the same thing as the Caleb Williams play.
Yeah. The ball snapped over his head and he just picked it up and threw it 60 yards downfield. That's terrible. So now you're backed up. You stopped the clock. You preserved their timeouts, and you made your field goal harder.
And just my opinion. I mean, your offensive coordinator could have taken it down to the 2-minute warning by running the ball. Instead, we've had 3 straight passes and taking the Bears out of pressure into a favorable situation. You now have to get some yards to get a more manageable field goal. Goff takes the snap. He steps up in the pocket. He leashes a bomb down the field, and it's tipped and picked off. Byers picks it off. He's running it back to the 20, the 25. It all began on first down, I would say. That is I will agree with anybody who wants to say that's a bad pass. It is. But it also would say on first down, run the ball. Take it down to the 2 minute.
Run it.
There's a whole lot of blame on this one. I mean, that is Goff is fixated on that play on St. Brown. He's got 3 guys around him. Tesla's calling for the pass interference, but I don't see it.
That's brutal, man. The way that this game was going, it looked so good. You didn't even take it to the 2 minute warning. How? That's just malpractice, man. Like, take it to the 2 minute warning. Like, play it.
Yeah, I think Dan Campbell's got a lot to answer for not trying to take it down to the 2 minute warning. Oh, Lions Davenport nearly picks it off. Pierce Sargent in the comment section would have went nuts.
Oh, and that was forced to St. Brown.
It was.
Gosh,
1,000%.
man, come on. Wow.
2nd and 10. Can the Lions defense hold? We'll find out. Here's the snap, the trickeration play, and the Lions defense nearly gets the sack. That's got to be intentional grounding then. That should be grounding. There is nobody, unless there's something on the replay we can't see. There's nobody within 20 yards. You just called it on the Lions for they being on a miscommunication. Now they're dropping the flag. All right. Flag on the play.
Okay, there we go. Interestingly enough, they didn't also burn any time here. So now it's a 3rd down, right?
I'll have to check. I believe so.
Yeah, it's got to be. So, okay. That's ground. Yeah, come on.
3rd and 20.
3rd and 20, and they haven't even taken it to the 2 minute warning. So just that quick is we're upset with Campbell for not doing it. They didn't do it either, but no BS here on 3rd and 20.
Lions only going to rush 3. I strongly disagree with this. Unless Hutch is going in delay here, but I'm betting he's dropping. Oh, he is going. Okay, so he's sending 4 guys. There's the drop down underneath. Got to tackle them, though. They don't. They give up about, we'll say 12 yards. I'm assuming the Bears will punt it with 1:55 to go. We'll see.
There we go. Get the ball back, Chicago. All right. Refs are absolutely ridiculous, says Cody. Yeah, they called it, but they didn't want to. It took me up. It seemed like it took them a minute. Jose says, you crack me up, coach. Referees need an education from Moonscar Blade says here. Sorry, let me just read this off my phone, guys.
Yeah, some people are messaging me like the Sarge about the play calling, and I agree. Goff threw into 29 people on St. Brown for that pick, but I also say predicating that 1st and 10, you got 30 seconds till the 2 minute warning. Run the ball. Bears want to use a timeout. Great. If they don't, then fine. You're at the 2 minute warning. This is where experience as a coach really should show up quite a bit. And Dan Campbell, probably needs to hire an offensive coordinator.
For sure. Yep. Pierce Sargent does say that. We need an OC. At least they called the grounding independent Aquamans, but they didn't call the grounding the previous time by Caleb. That was the weirdest thing. Yeah, the ball was snapped like 15 yards behind him, and he went and picked it up and threw it. Is what it is here. But you know what? It's so funny how that switched because Ryan, I think it was, going after Goff. Goff throws a pick, so now he's vindicated. We are sitting here upset. We didn't, at least take it to 2 minute warning. They didn't either. Right. So now you get the ball back. Lions have 3 timeouts. You're not going to be in a rush. Run the ball. Make it so that this is your last. It's like in basketball. Don't take a shot to win it if the game's tied with 8 seconds and then the other team gets a rebound. Now they got to take it right at the end where it's either it's going in or you're going to overtime. That's how I feel. The line's got to go up.
A lot of coaching, in my opinion, is putting your players in any sport in favorable positions.
Yeah, for sure.
Dan Campbell, 1st and 10. Are you putting yourself in a favorable position by throwing it 3 straight times when you have the other team? You force them to use their timeouts. I get trying to be aggressive, score a touchdown, everything, but don't kill yourself. Dan Campbell, in my opinion, kills himself. And now Goff probably does throw. We all agree, he throws a boneheaded play there. But how much of that is you putting the receivers, Goff, that offensive line in a bad situation?
Make it easy for yourself, right? Because the other thing too is, okay, be aggressive, go get the touchdown. Well, there's still plenty of time for Chicago. Now this is okay. Now you're getting the ball back, and you've just got to go burn some time. Like I said, I'd be more. Who in here doesn't want to walk off field goal winner right here? But you just got to get, got to move the ball, but you got to take some time too. You can't score too quick.
Well, I mean, if you like, I know we've talked about it before. I don't think that Goff's the top quarterback in the league. I would put him somewhere between 5 and 8, but some of it is situational. You have to play to his strengths, and if you want somebody better than him, it's just difficult to achieve it, in my opinion. Cleve Raymond, a great return here, by the way. He's still going. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. There is 1:41 to go.
Let's go right now. We're not going to the playoffs, but right now, this moment, Lions, you have a shot to do something awesome. And hey, Goff, go do something here. But the game's not all on your arm right here. Let's put it on. Let's just be smart and go win this as time expires. Come on.
All right, here we go. 1:41 to go. 16-16. Shotgun formation. 2 high, 1 low. Tight end also in. Gibbs is in. St. Brown in motion. We got pitched out to Gibbs. Gibbs has about as much blocking on the pitch as they usually get. He still gets a little help from his friends and gets about a 9-yard gain. 1:30 to go. Can we end in a 16-16 tie? Injured Bear down. The Bears may have to use a timeout here. Dexter Sr. I want the Lions to win, selfishly for the players, the coaches. But, if this is Glasgow's last game, Decker's last game,
Yeah, you love it. Robert says they act like they've never been here before. I'm not sure who you're talking about.
All right, Goff under center.
Come on, Lions.
Deuces low, single high, under a minute to go. Lions eating some clock here.
That was good.
You're going to hand it off to Gibbs again. He's got the first down, not much more, but he does get the first down.
Perfect. That's fine.
45 seconds and ticking. Somebody's calling a timeout. I heard whistles. Bear down again. So they're going to put some time back on the clock. And for those who hate Goff, I don't have a problem with it. Hate him all you want. But who do you want? You want Stafford to come back? No? I mean, there are some Rams fans that don't like Stafford so much. Nobody has thrown more pick sixes than Matty Stafford. I like Matt Stafford. I think he's a warrior. I think he fights through it. But my point being, if you expect your quarterback to be perfect all the time, you're probably going to be disappointed. Lamar Jackson, there's probably a whole lot of people in Ravens land, Baltimore land, that are already talking about trading him. So let that sink in. You want to go get him where they didn't want him. So I don't know.
Yeah. If the Lions won the Super Bowl, there would still be people say trade Goff. Right. Here's what I love. Throws a pick here. And again, they didn't have to, because exactly what you're talking about. It's good coaching. Call the right plays, but just put it behind you and go win this game right here.
Yeah, I did see that, Sean. And, the only thing I'd say is, I don't know. I saw the hit. I also think, if you call it, I don't know. But like Coach Tanya K will say, we got this. We've got the 2 timeouts. You got a couple plays here. Let's see if we can do it. Moonscar, 1969-72 were the last season's Lions 4 straight winning seasons. How about that? Touche. Olay. I'll say that. Cody, well, the dumb thing is Goff is not easily replaced. If we can draft a guy, then fine. Well, we'll see what they do. He does make some boneheaded plays at times. I think we all agree on that. But I just don't know a quarterback that doesn't make boneheaded plays at times. I'm not aware of that individual. Even the greatest Lions quarterback in Lions history in my lifetime, Eric Kramer. Eventually, he did make some bad passes. Let's see, Jake Bates has ice in his veins. Let's hope. Let's see, Breeze. Hopefully Dan will use his timeouts. Find out. J-Mo on a drag, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, what yard we at? I want to say
that.
we're at the 45, but don't hold me to that. It's Gardner Johnson coming out the field. All right.
Come on, Lions. In a good spot right here. Just be smart.
Yeah,
He's fine with runs.
Gardner Johnson looks like he's wobbly, man. Like they're really helping him. 42 seconds on the clock, by the way. They put 2 seconds back on. I think they should have put 4, but they don't ask me. First and 10 Detroit. They're about midfield, I believe. Maybe.
Yes, sir. Michael Laughlin. You're saying there's still a chance for victory. This is the weirdest swing because a second ago, after the Goff pick, it felt like
too low, including Tesla, too high, including tight end. Play action pass. Goff's got time. He throws it to St. Brown, who makes a spin move. He's now at the 25 and going down. 33 seconds to go.
Let's go. Let's go, Lions. Perfect.
Anyway, and I'm not saying, again, he's the greatest quarterback. The only problem is I think it's a whole lot easier to get a worse quarterback than it would be to get better. And if we're going to go for Pat Mahomes or, gosh, I'm trying to think, maybe Josh Allen, the problem with Josh Allen is what has he won that Goff hasn't? I get he's a big monster dude, the cannon arm. I don't know, man. I don't know. Worry about that stuff in the offseason. Let's worry about this right now.
Okay, so you're talking about is our play being run? You're talking about putting your guys in the right position. That's the right time for Goff to throw that, and that was a perfect throw.
Goff at the line, tight formation, 3 receivers. St. Brown looking to block. They hand it to Gibbs. Gibbs gets about a yard.
Perfect. Come on. I want this win way more than I thought I did. Come on, Detroit. And
there will
Chicago,
be a post-game show us. So, hey, we can analyze what's going to happen this postseason. We can analyze this win, the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, the whatever you want to say. And, hey, how about this? Let's just enjoy it. We don't get a ton of these, and it's going to be the last one for about 5 months. So just enjoy it, man.
That's out. Yeah, perfect. So did Chicago call their timeout there, or does it make more sense to wait for us to go out to kick it and then try to ice Bates? Yeah. Clock's ticking. Not a great day for Chicago going into the playoffs. They played their guys. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Under center. Goff's going to hand it off. Gibbs gets back to the line of scrimmage. Really all he needed. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Lions going to call a timeout with 2 seconds left. Maybe they'll put it 1 second back. Bears do have a timeout remaining.
They'll use it to try to ice him. Come on, Bates. You got this.
I hope you all come over to the final regular season post-game show for the Detroit Lions. End the season. All right, just making the thumbnail here. Lions answer the bell. Let's see, can Jake Bates end the season properly for Detroit?
Let's go.
Going to be a 42-yard kick.
Let's get this.
The snap, the hold, it's up, it's in, it's good, good. Just win, baby.
Let's go. That's a big win. Come on.
It
doesn't mean it doesn't mean what we hoped it did, but that's a great feeling, man. And that's does not bode well for Chicago. And we already got the 4th place schedule locked in. That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. That's finally the tides turned for Chicago under the 2-minute warning there with not having all the things bounce their way there. Big win for the Detroit Lions there to end the season.
All right, guys, I'm going to end this one and get the post-game show up and ready for you. Give me about, 10 seconds and it'll be up. Hopefully see you guys all on, cheering on the Lions. Post-game show. Riley, if you want to come on over, I'll send you the link. See
Yeah,
you
you
guys
got
all
it.
momentarily. 1, 2, 3. See you then.